Haha. We're here! Funky white balance, but... Here. Now I'll be yellow. Slightly less funky white balance. Never was quite good at setting white balance. Okay, holy crap, that is a lot of comments. Wow, okay, we're gonna pop out this chat so that I can actually read through some of this stuff. Wow. Favorite beverage? I like water. Okay. We have got some stupidity in this chat. Are you MGTOW? No, I am not MGTOW. Ironically, I'm dating a woman who is more MGTOW than the men that I've met that are MGTOW, but that is something I will get to at a later time. I am not a MGTOW. I can be sensitive to the people that are in MGTOW who have had their, but at the same time, a lot of them seem to be, I chose the wrong woman and whoops, kind of thing. What is the voltage in your G3 Hot? Not. I don't have a voltage on my G3 Hot. Why don't you do iPhone board repairs even though you sell the parts online? Excellent question! So if let's say somebody comes in with an iPhone 6, right? That iPhone 6 has a resale value of $90. Now, if your iPhone 6 is not turning on, let me just get this air conditioner pointing to a different direction. It's blowing right at my head and it's going to give me a cold. I'm already sick. You're going to want me to fix the board for somewhere between $40 to $50. I don't want to fix your board for $40 to $50. I can't do that. I have people that make between $25 to $45 an hour here fixing boards, so I can't fix your board for $40, especially if it takes several hours to figure out. So we do data recovery on them, and maybe, since we have 12 people now, we're not totally stressed all the time. On the newer ones, we may be able to do certain fixes on them, but it's not that it's not possible, it's just... If I tell somebody an iPhone board repair costs more than like $39, they lose their mind, so I can't do it. Thread moving so fast, nobody will know that I'm Apple. Let's see, what do we have here? What is your daily driver? It's a ThinkPad P52 and a Samsung S7. This is the last Samsung phone that is made, actually the last Android phone that fits in my hand. I can't use a phone that's larger than 9 inches. I mean 5 inches. It just doesn't work. So watch, get my desk cam on. Let's see if I can get my light turned on. I can't use these ridiculously large modern phones. They don't fit in my hand. I don't know. I'm at the point where I may at some point consider an iPhone just because I can't fit this stuff. Also, I just heard something, but I don't see it. Shizzle. What did I do? I broke something, didn't I? Any thoughts on the new Mac Pro? It seems to not be designed for consumers or even semi-pro. It seems to be designed for people that have upscale broadcast studios and stuff like that, or people doing research, but definitely not for the average individual. It's one of the reasons that I don't really care so much about the whole $1,000 stand thing, is because if a $1,000 stand is too much for you, it's not made for you. You're supposed to get the iMac Pro or a normal iMac or a MacBook. I haven't really cared that much about the stand, I'll be honest with you. That stand is for people that are spending $35,000 in their PC, that genuinely don't care about the fact that the stand is $1,000, that have all this other stuff in their office already. But yeah, back to the phone thing. Like, this fits in my hand just barely. If I'm holding it like this, I still have to do this uncomfortable thing where I put my fingers here to touch something in the corner. So even at 5 inches, I think this phone is too big. The smallest phone that seems to be out right now is like 5.5 to 5.8 inches. And until this insanity ends, I'm not getting another one. I absolutely am not getting another phone. I'm not getting any of this over 5-inch crap. You can make the phone bigger. I can't make my hand larger. So until you can figure out a way to make my hand larger, I'm done. Greetings from Arizona. Thank you. Yeah, so why don't I fix the phones that I sell parts to? Again, it's an economics thing. I can't fix phones for $40 to $60, and that's what people usually want to pay. Needs more Clinton and BlackBerry. Unfortunately, they're not here. Do you do programming? No, I tried learning programming 2 or 3 times, but I really suck at programming, so I don't have the brain for it. I don't have a brain for a lot of stuff. I'm surprised I even do well at the stuff that I do, given the brain that I'm working with. But yeah, I definitely don't have a brain for programming. It's weird because when I was a kid, I remember writing this GW Basic program when I was 6 years old on my VTech. That was a Toys R Us laptop that you could get that actually had Basic installed. It was so cool. I wrote a math test program, and it would give you... Thank you, Jazzy. That's very kind of you. I wrote this math test program that would insult you more based on how far off your answer was. So this is the closest thing I got to coding an algorithm. So depending on how far off your answer was or how close it was, you get encouraging comments, insults, really brazen insults and just get the fuck out of my store kind of insults. Or, since I have sounds here.
Get the fuck out of my store. We are closed.
Thoughts? Let's see. What made you specialize in fixing defective Apple products? I specialized in that because I used to work on studio gear, and all the people that were that should I buy AMD stocks. I have no idea, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not the one to ask. When it was $6, I thought, screw this, I'm not investing in that. And hey, I could have invested in Nvidia at $40, so don't ask me. Thread moving oh god, I'm so far behind. How is the Norway trial going? I have no idea. I emailed Henrik to ask how it's going. I haven't heard back yet. We'll see. He said something like 2 weeks from the date that the testimony was done. It has been 2 weeks from that date, and we still haven't heard anything back yet. With any luck, it is... when I visit, will you have a drink with me? I don't even want to have drinks with the people that I know. But you know what? Since you were one of the originals, you were watching this YouTube channel back in 2012, just for you. Yes, I don't drink, though. I'll drink water with you. I'll drink water with you, but that's it. You just can't fanboy. Any more news in the Yelp situation? That thing was done with like 4 years ago. But the thing is, the movie took forever to come out because they were shopping the movie to try to make as much money off of it as they humanly could, in spite of the fact that the entire movie was crowdfunded and paid for by the people that wanted to see it released as soon as possible because they were in it. But yeah, that's a long one. That's a funny one. If by any chance I microwaved a MacBook Pro, would you be able to... no, go away. No, go away. I can't help you with that. Good day from Australia. Love your videos. Thank you very much. Message retracted. Appreciation retracted. Nokia makes 4.8-inch phones. Maybe. What's your ROM in the S7? Probably stock. I don't have time to fuck with it. I really don't. I could like redo the ROM, but I genuinely don't care. It's like, any thoughts on the Atika situation? If you had heard what happened, Mikey and Hi told me that there was some guy that 4chan looks up to that may have or may not have jumped off a bridge. I don't follow that stuff. I'm really sorry. I don't care. I hope the person does well, but I hope that they find the help they need and all that. But if it's outside of my inner circle, I don't follow the stuff to that level. I don't read tabloids. I don't read about it. Meh. Thoughts using liquid metal in laptops? You get a small increase in performance over really good thermal paste, so I wouldn't do it just based on the amount of people, thank you very much for that, that wind up bringing us laptops after they've totally fucked them up with liquid metal. It depends. Like, again, if I was going to be gaining like 20 or 30 Celsius, I wouldn't give a shit. But when you look at like the thermal at liquid metal versus top of the line thermal paste, in my opinion, the gains are not worth the risk of fucking it up and potentially smothering it someplace that you need to fix your board. But that's me. That's a subjective thing. That's going to be up to you. There's no specific answer. Let's talk audio dream amp. Macintosh. I like amps. I like amplifiers where there is a linear increase in output power with a linear decrease in impedance. So if you're putting out twice as much power, if you're putting out twice as much wattage for when you half the impedance of the speakers, that's beautiful. That's just so sexy. I have a Rotel RB1090 at home, which is clearly overkill, but that's just, it's kind of overkill to have a thing that goes 0 to 19.9999 miles per hour as fast as mine does, but I enjoy it. Thank you very much, Matthew Underwood. I appreciate that. Oh, man. Do you have plans to expand your business? It's hard enough to get everything going and running properly with just one location. I don't know on expanding. If I get more business, yes. Creating another store before the business is there, no. So if I get more people bringing stuff to this store, by all means, hiring more people, getting more space, absolutely will do it. And have been doing it, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed, again, we just recently, a few years ago, invested in doing board level repair at a deeper level. Then we invested in having more people. Then we invested in doing, oh my God, how the fuck are you supposed to read this shit? There's two of them at the same time. This is a can of Fancy Feast for Clinton. Clinton eats wellness, not Fancy Feast. He is spoiled. But thank you very much. All right, do you have plans to expand your business? I have plans to, if I get to do the things that make money better. So, for example, we have a lot of customers willing to pay for data recovery. So how can we do data recovery better? We get a lot of people coming for liquid damage. How can we do liquid damage better, and so on and so forth. So I have plans to try to do better at the things that people are already willing to spend money here for. I don't have plans to just randomly, thank you very much, Brendan Weaver, I don't have plans to just holy shit. Best place to get an A1278 battery replacement that isn't literal shit, OWC. Don't buy shit from OWC. Stop buying shit from OWC. So I have a good story about that. Anyway, I don't plan on expanding unless it is getting a... I can't keep up with this. I want to get better at the things I already do, and if that naturally brings in more business, then great. I don't have a plan to just randomly expand into areas where I don't have expertise. I would go with ProTech Restore. I think it's protech.com or protechrestores.com or something like that. I forget the website, and by the time I remember it, there'll be 3 other questions, so you're going to have to Google that for yourself. Thank you very much, Trench Guns. I was about to say something. I had a store. Oh, yeah, OWC, so check this out. So about 6 or 7 years ago, I was selling screens via Rossmann Supply Group, and there was one screen that I had on eBay for about $84 or $94 a piece, but free shipping, and I had it on my own website for something like $65, but you had to pay for shipping. The whole idea here being that on eBay, everybody wants free shipping, which is never free. It's kind of like free college. You're kind of paying for it in the long run with taxes and everything else. But anyway, so I had free shipping. They bought 100 fucking screens on eBay. Never even called me to say, hey, can we get a discount if you buy 10 or 20 or 50 or 100? They never even went to my own website where it said, if you buy 5, you get 3% off. If you buy 10, you get 10% off. If you buy 20, you get this percent off. They could have went to my own effing website and saved hundreds of dollars. And they bought 100 of those screens straight from eBay, where my eBay listing said it's cheaper on my fucking website. It's one thing if you're buying one. They bought 100 of them that way. So not only did you pay retail, but you paid free shipping 100 times. You paid free shipping 100 times. Ah, God. Because again, I was assuming that shipping was $10. Shipping 100 screens is going to cost me about $70. And you paid $10 100 times. So that's like $1,000 of profit that just went straight in my pocket because they couldn't be asked to read the ad. Which makes you wonder, are they offering a really good deal on the stuff they have, if that's how they purchase things? And I wouldn't be shitting on OWC to this extent if their SSDs were in total fucking garbage. What if I put the microwave, MacBook in the dishwasher first? No! Stop that! No microwaving! No dishwashing, just don't buy the Apple product to begin with. But anyway, yeah, the OWC SSDs have been trashed for a really long time, and I felt really bad about this because I actually defended them on the Mac Rumors forum. Jessica told me you like Everclear. I quit drinking over a year ago, but I used to like Everclear. Thank you very much. That used to be something I enjoyed very much, and probably still would enjoy, which is why I'm not drinking it. But anyway, let me turn the volume down on this because it's going to fucking deafen me. So... yeah, I actually defended them on Mac Rumors, which was wrong of me. They have SSD they wouldn't even fit in the fucking MacBook Air. So you'd have an SSD, let's say that the slot was this long, right? And this is the OWC SSD like this. So you go to put your screw in the hole, but it wouldn't fit in the hole because the hole is over here and the end of the fucking SSD is over here. Grr! You can't even make an SSD that fits. And oh my God, don't get me started on their new SSDs with the controllers. They fail more often than OWC. If you don't put data that you want to keep on an OWC SSD, the amount of OWC SSD people that we have coming here with their data just completely gone, just poof. Tony Tone, if you come, I'll drink with you. You know what? I will eat while Mark and Tony Tone drink, and we could have a conversation. I think that Mark would get along with Tony Tone. But yeah, don't put your data on a fucking OWC SSD if you like your data. Get a Transcend SSD. So with the problem with a lot of Macs, repairing my own ductless AC, the fuse keeps popping in the circuit board from bad varistor. How do I identify or test a bad one to find replacement? I don't work on air conditioners. I really appreciate that you would give me $5. Thank you very much. I have no idea how to fix an air conditioner. I'm really sorry. Hopefully somebody in the comments can help you. Paul did automotive work, but I don't know if that's really going to be related to HVAC stuff. I'm sorry. I have no idea. Yeah, sorry. No clue. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. OWC SSDs, the junk. Why does your face look the way it does? Because I was born this way. Perhaps my face looks this way because I was a C-section birth. So I know that shoving the head out the birth canal is a hard, traumatic thing. Maybe it affects the way the face looks when it comes out. I did not. I refused to come out. I was spoiled. My mother made sure to remind me of this for the 20 and a half years that she was alive while I was alive up until the moment of her death, that I did not want to come out the way that I was supposed to because I was just that much of a fucking pain in the ass. One of the strange things for a mom to hold against you, but whatever. Whatever floats your boat. So yeah, maybe that's the why I look the way I do. C-section instead of normal birth. Okay, so I poured a gallon on my own board. No! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Who would ask stock advice from somebody who invested in AGRX? Troll. GTFO. Somebody did not read the efficacy of their product versus ortho-ever. It's not my fault the FDA is corrupt. I got a question too. I've seen some laptops that have reverse motherboards. I don't understand what that question is. We know you don't like MacBooks. What laptop do you recommend? I like the ThinkPad P50, thank you very much. What part do you hate replacing the most? iPhone 4 CDMA Volume Flex. I would take an hour and I would just fucking give up and give it back to the customer. Like, I suck. Recommendations on beginner electric bike. Bafang, baby, bafang. Just don't use their shitty controller. Yeah, iPhone 4 CDMA Volume Flex. It looks like an anaconda with wings. It's awful. You're only famous because of Apple. How do you feel about that? Another reason hate Apple, because I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. Can you tickle my motherboard? No, and don't call me that. Let's see. Thanko thumb extension stylus for phones on Amazon. People are... Now that's a fucking free market solution for ridiculously sized phones if I've ever seen one. We can't make the phone smaller, but we can extend your thumb. No, make a phone that fits in my hand. I'm telling you, when I'm done with this phone, I'm probably going to buy a fucking iPhone. I'm not kidding. Apple is the only company that realizes that that people's hands are not growing at the speed of the phones. Seppuku donated $10. Thank you for the $10. What type of chair do you use? Some shit from Amazon. It should be in the links below. What's the cost of your most expensive repair that a customer was willing to pay for? I don't know, like 1,000, 1,100 maybe? Let's see. Top 5 worst experiences with employees. A guy that got drunk, fell asleep in the basement, let 3 express mail shipping labels just sit here after the postman showed up, after I paid money out of pocket to buy them a $1,200 gaming computer. So I had a dude. You're like the Total Biscuit of tech industry. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I don't know who Total Biscuit is, though. Thank you. Thumb extension. I think I saw that one already. Thank you. So I had a shipping employee who was doing a decent job. About a month in, he would stay late to play games in the computer because he didn't have one at home. And Steve and I kind of felt bad, so I bought him. I just took out my card and bought him a $1,200 gaming PC. And then he started showing up a little late, and then leaving a little early, and then shipping the wrong thing, and then he just and then he got wasted, and then he fell asleep in my basement. Don't delay, vote Andrew Scheer for Apple CEO today. I'll look into that and see who that is. That was recent. That's not the worst. Let's see. Worst. Man, there's so many to choose from. There's so many to choose from. I genuinely can't. Wow. I've had people ship things to the wrong country. I've had people that used 10-gauge wire to try and fix something on an iPad that then let the wire go outside of the glass and thought the customer wouldn't see. Thank you, Gerardo. Oh, man. What's your favorite Radiohead album? Either Kid A or OK Computer, or Hail to the Thief, or Amnesiac, or Kid A, or OK Computer, or Hail to the Thief, Amnesiac. Don't make me choose. I haven't listened to much Radiohead after 2003, but I really like pre-2003. Would you ever get an Apple tramp stamp on your back? Not for all the money on God's green earth. What happened to your video on mansplaining? I don't know. Probably deleted it when I cleaned up my channel. Where's a good place to start practicing computer repair without destroying your own or your friend's computer? I have no experience and want to learn. Find recycled shit that people don't care about, or buy old crap for $50 online or something. How would you recommend with someone with no technical experience or person ask about it or learn how to do repairs? Also learn electronic stuff because education can't fail some of us hard enough. Your own curiosity. You're gonna have to have an incentive to do it. You're gonna have to have an incentive to learn. It cannot be. It has to be you're interested. It can't be I want to make more money or I want to make rent this month. Because if there's pressure put on you, it's not gonna work. You're gonna have to. It's gonna be because you genuinely care to learn it because it's fascinating to you. That's what it has to be. It can't be like I just want to make more money or I want to whatever. I can't believe you got me fired. You can believe it, but you're also not Erica because Erica doesn't spend time watching these streams. At least not that, Erica. Yeah, it can't be. What I've realized is people learn really poorly when there's immediate pressure. Like, I need to learn this within 2 to 3 days. People learn really well when it's, damn, this problem is pissing me off. I want to see the solution to this. I gotta know what the answer to this problem is. Why is this always blowing even when there's no short? There's no short to ground. But I see fire going through it every time I put power through it. But it measures 1 million ohms to ground. Like that type of thing where it's internally bothering you that you don't know the answer. Learn. That kind of thing where it's I don't really care what the answer is, but I want to make money. That's the thing, the carpetbagging element. When will you ditch Wang blows and jump to Linux? Probably never. I used Linux from 2003 to 2013-14 as my main operating system, and then I realized that I can. There are other operating systems where like manufacturers support them, and if I want to get a plugin or a program that does something, I can just get it rather than have to code it myself or go through undocumented, halfway completed projects that somebody else did and said, if you want it to work, then you finish it. I got spoiled. I know. I'm an asshole. I don't value my freedom, I suppose. What do you think of all the YouTubers getting demonetized? I think that the people who had the idea from the beginning that if you're making something that's somewhat controversial or that's pissing people off, that you need to have a different set of funding or a different form of income are the ones who are going to survive, and the people who just saw $10,000 or $30,000 a month in YouTube money come in because they put up a video talking about what thousands of other people were already talking about are going to be screwed. What's your hobby? Bafang. Okay, so let's see. Next question. I have an iPhone 4 CDMA volume flex. Please, bro, fix. No. Hi. Where is the girlfriend? She actually just called me, even though I'm streaming. But, you know, all I have to do is turn this phone around, and everybody watching the stream is going to see her phone number. So we're going to do that, maybe. Let's see. Are you still? Would you? Oh, yes. Yes, and since I just held my phone up so that I could hear you, now about 2,000 people have your phone number. So that's what happens when you call me while streaming. Bye. All right. Would you ever get a tramp stamp on your back? No. I can get you parts. My uncle owns a factory in China. I hear that every day. Do you stay up late working all the time? You're still playing Dota. I haven't had time now. Is you looking at YouTube chat? No, I ignore your comments. There's so many comments. Mark, I have beer for you from SD. Let's see. Will girlfriend do a board repair at some point? Are you a Donald Trump supporter? No, I was a Ron Paul supporter, a lukewarm Rand Paul supporter because he kind of fell far from the tree. Outside of that, I wouldn't say I would support one politician over the other. I maybe was a Larry Sharpe supporter, but I'm not really, like, I can prefer one candidate over another without supporting them. Support is one of those words that I would really reserve for somebody like Ron Paul. I support myself. Fuck everybody else. Top 5 worst experience with employees. I think I answered that one half an hour ago, and I don't have 5 of them. I don't have time for 5 of them because 5 other questions are going to pop up, unfortunately. I did give you one. Your Discord link is invalid. Can you update it? Hi. Stream assistant! We actually hired a stream assistant recently. So he's been doing the editing. iPod Touch 4G power button repair. You can buy an iPod Touch working for like $30. What do you want to pay me to fix it? 5? No, I can't do that. I'm sorry. That device is really annoying to open. I cannot open that device for $5. Actually, wait. Even back in 2013, an iPod Touch 4th generation was worth something like $60. So, do you sell A1278 batteries? I stopped selling batteries when Customs decided to start seizing them. So, let's see. What do you think of Pine Phone? I have no idea what that is. You do not look Italian. I'm sure you don't look like your avatar picture either. What would it take for you to like Apple? Treat their customers well, treat repair shops well. I don't really care about the whole, like, I'm not invested in hating people who use their products and hating the products if they were actually nice to their customers. It's really the way that they treat their customers that bothers me. Wow, we have a book here. I've fixed my own phone and family since 2008. Finally given up fixing other people's stuff as a hobby since every year becomes more difficult to repair. Your iPhone 4 volume button replacement reminded me of this. I gave up with it as well. Yes, fuck the iPhone 4 volume button replacement. But not even that's not it. The CDMA iPhone 4 volume button replacement. Look up what that thing looks like. Just take a look up. Why is Mr. Clinton so plump? Because he eats A lot of food. Why do chicken coos have 2 doors and not 4? Because then they'd be chicken sedans. Okay, that's funny. That made me laugh. In all seriousness, thanks for the videos. I've used them myself to do backlight and other things to make sides change. Last day, I'll microwave a MacBook if you take me as your apprentice. I don't have space for an apprentice. Are super chat donations tax deductible? If not, will you reimburse me? No. I'm pretty sure they're not. And Mark, I will reimburse you lots of money. Did I tell you that not only will I reimburse you, but I'll pay you more than Jess if you come here and help me with my stack of iPhones? Whatever Jess is paying you, I will pay you 40% on top. Unless it's a lot of money, in which case I rescind my offer. No, but seriously, Mark, you got a chair here for you. We're setting up another station for you. Come by! We miss you, buddy. Camille left at like 10:30 today from fucking pile of iPhones. Have some mercy, my friend. Your anti-bullying video is inspiring and relatable. Thank you very much. What was your first smartphone? First smartphone, BlackBerry 8703E, if you want to call that smart. In 2009. Opinion on building gaming computer with current GPU, CPU market, Led Zepp or Stones? I don't know what, oh my god. I don't know shit about gaming PCs. I just go to CPU, GPU benchmark and try to find whatever's in the middle. Like for CPU, whatever the best $350 CPU is. For GPU, whatever's the best around like $200 to $300. I really don't care otherwise. I don't game much anymore, if at all. I've owned every iPhone, but starting with the 10 screen gets super scratched easily now. WTF Apple. I haven't noticed that, honestly, and I scratch the hell out of all my phones, so I don't really notice or care. I don't use screen protectors because it doesn't feel the same. You can never get them on right. Is your business logo supposed to look like a pyramid with an all-seeing eye at the top when it's really small or far away? No, I never thought of that. Who would win the fight, cops or a stick? Yeah, the cops would probably beat the stick up. They would shoot it. Especially if the stick looked like... what's with this stream? It's like 2016 when you were being discovered and popular. Hello, Paul Daniels. How's it going? Do you do desktop motherboard repair? No, I don't, because you can replace desktop motherboards cheaper than I can fix them. Does he read this? Absolutely not. Of course I don't read your comments, Charles. I have no respect for you. Rank these companies on what's the most evil. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Ajit Pai, Huawei, Intel. Okay. Ajit Pai is not a company. He is a human. Oh, boy. This is really hard. I would say that Apple... Microsoft used to be evil. They're not as evil anymore. They've kind of run out of evil fluid. Huawei, I don't know how much spying they actually do. Intel, I mean, they're just your normal anti-competitive evil. And maybe a little bit of spying with the management engine region. It's hard to tell. Man, fuck. I honestly can't answer that question. Okay. I think the spying people are going to be more evil than Apple. Because the spying people have a lot more ability to fuck up the world. So, because the spying people are eventually going to stop just saving that in servers for advertising and eventually start parsing through that shit for people that they don't like to ruin their fucking lives. So, you know, at some point in time, all your Google Hangouts information, I could be conspiracy theorist here, all your Google Hangouts conversations that you never saved the history to, all your emails that you thought you deleted, all your conversations and stuff, if you're the type of person that you think that high-ups on the SJW scale don't like, I have a feeling that kind of stuff's going to get released. I have a feeling that Huawei is likely the type of company that's helping that kind of stuff happen in China to people who are dissenters. I would definitely put the spying people above it, above the normal manufacturers. But all of them have a little bit of spying in there, so I would put Apple on the bottom of the list, believe it or not. Why am I donating money even though I'm paid less than the average kid in an iPhone factory? What do you do that you're paid less than somebody in an iPhone factory? Would you be surprised if I said my daily driver is a perfectly working late 2011 A1286? Liar! Your GPU is dead! I have a 2017 MacBook Pro A1708. Is it worth buying AppleCare? It's plus 2 years of warranty, but it's really expensive. Do you plan on sending 52 volts to your CPU? The thing is that on most cases, I don't know if I actually published this already. Have I published this already? Let's see. I actually have an article on this. Do I have an article on this? Have I released it? Have I not released it? Have I been lazy? Let's see if I have my article on this. But in the time it's going to take me to load up that article, there's probably going to be 3 comments, so I'm not going to be able to... Does Apple cover liquid damage? Here we go. So I did a Casey Smith funded $0.99. Thank you very much. I actually did an article on my site that deals with this very question that you're having, my friend. Let's see if I can do display capture here. So rossmanngroup.com, you go to About Us, FAQ, and does Apple cover water damage repair? And I did what new AppleCare Plus is like versus old-fashioned AppleCare, and whether or not I thought it was worth it, and what my arguments were. I actually think one of these figures may be wrong, because I think other damage is a little bit less on some of them. No, that's not that figure that's wrong. It's the different amount that you people would pay for AppleCare at certain sections. Grant Tompkins says, hi, Lewis. Hello. Anyway. I did my argument there. Personally, I don't think AppleCare is worth it unless you plan on totally wrecking your machine and killing the CPU. If you don't plan on killing the CPU, then maybe it doesn't matter. But if you do plan on killing the CPU, then absolutely get AppleCare Plus. What's the worst question I could ask you? To read all the questions. It's not the worst question. It's putting every single question at the same time. What do you think about repair from India versus China? Your anti-billing stories inspired me. I very much related. You're awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Do you have a girlfriend? Yes, I do. Let's see. Wow, I'm behind 8 minutes. Fuck. You have any tattoos? No, I don't. Do you support nuclear abortions? I don't know what a nuclear abortion is. I know what an abortion is. Should I say nuclear or nuclear? I'm an American, so I should say nuclear. What are the specs of your personal PC? Do you expect me to list all that right now? Threadripper 2950, and fuck, I can't read that because there's another question. Do you watch Strange Parts channel, or those videos real? I've watched 1 or 2 videos. I can't tell you if they're real or not. I don't think... I think that anything he does, it appears to be pretty genuine. The only thing that I can even remotely be a conspiracy theorist on is that in the very beginning of it, he had like a press section on his website, which led me to believe it's not just, it was being done with commercial intent from the beginning. That being said, you can totally do things with commercial intent from the beginning and them be legitimate. And I would lean towards thinking that he is absolutely 100% legitimate. But again, I don't really know the dude, so I don't know. Fuck. Hello from SPLC Gulag, sent help and burritos. Hello, Shameless James. Do people still believe what's written on that website? As a fellow Italian, what are some of your favorite Italian dishes? Do you like pepperoni rolls? If I send you some, would you eat them? I don't eat pepperoni. I don't identify much as an Italian. I don't know. I'm a bad Italian. I know as a kid, I knew how to set my VCR clock, which already separated me from most of the Italian side of my family. I don't know. I don't speak Italian. I don't really, yeah. Do you still have the shelf of laptops that your family friends tempted to force you to repair? That has been long gone. Let's see. Thanks for saving me time and money by toasting your techniques and tools after figuring out what is best. It is appreciated. Holy crap, I do not deserve $99.99, but thank you very much for the donation. Why'd you have to testify in a European court? It's a great question. If you look at the videos on it, look up a gentleman whose name is Henrik Husby. Henrik Huseby. He bought screens from Jack Telecom. They said OEM on the invoice. They showed up. They had Apple logos that Apple claims were printed on them, not just on the Flex, but elsewhere, that were not real. They claimed the serial numbers on them were faked, and that they were not the original LCD. I mean, they were not the original screens. As a result, they decided to sue him. Lewis, give Oreo pets and tell him they're for me. I will. Oreo misses you, by the way, even though he's cheating on you with Erica. Oreo is cheating on Mark Schaefer's armpit with Erica's armpit. What kind of music you listen to? I like Yes. I like Dream Theater when James LaBrie is not singing. I like Alice in Chains a lot. Love Alice in Chains, especially Jar of Flies. Who would win in a fight, cups or sticks? That's a silly question, but thank you for the $2. I came across your channel by accident, and I'm glad I did because I found someone who I can look up to. Sincerely, thank you for what you do. I think there's a lot of better people than me to look up to, but hopefully I've inspired you to do something good or useful or figure something out. Have you ever seen a grown man naked? I've been in a gym locker room, so yes. Is there a way to change the battery of an iPod Shuffle? I don't know. I've never opened one before, and I hope I never do. Hello, I'm Jesse from Manila. May I ask you why the iPhone 4S is always heating? Because it's old and you have a short somewhere and your phone is fucked. Join our official partner Discord server. We recommend Android phones to people and offer hardware advice. It would be nice if you popped in and said, hi, discord.gg/Patham. Well, I would have to remember that. I also can't copy and paste that since that is on my screen over there, and my mouse can't copy and paste from that. So hopefully Hi remembers that. Hi, please remember that and remind me later. Hi is the stream assistant. Let's see. What is the make and model of your microphone? This is a DPA 4066. There is a link to it in the description down below. And yes, this thing does cost over $600. But it's a nice little microphone. Why is your logo a sheep? Because the sheep is a humble, kind, and happy animal. Lewis, what's the first step I need to make a life? Well, if you want to make a life, the first thing you do is you find a woman that you love and care for very much that feels the same way about you. And once you're both making a good living for yourselves and both really care about the other and have really vetted the other person, understand that they're a person with good values, who's virtuous, and all that, then, well, there's the birds and the bees conversation that I sincerely hope your parents have had with you. USB ports are dirty. Any good ideas for cleaning them out? Compressed air, don't go above 50 psi if you don't know what you're doing. Silicon or vacuum tubes? Silicon. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm not a tube hipster. I'm not a vinyl hipster. I don't like tubes. Tubes for artistic purposes, fine. If you have a tube guitar amp, that's fine. To actually play back what it is you've recorded, I like solid state. And I hate vinyl. Oh my god, I can't stand vinyl. Once you get used to what a good digital to analog converter sounds like, and once you get used to listening to what vinyl sounds like on, let's say, if you're listening to something like Godowski's piano volumes, and you're used to hearing that little thing at like minus 40 or 50 dB on all the little distortions that trails every single piano note, you can't unhear it, and it's terrible. Don't spend this all in one place now, young man. Will not. Roger, thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe. Mark Schaefer on YouTube. That guy's the best. I have 78 characters left, and I don't know what to do with them. Now it's 2. Yeah, you definitely should subscribe to Mark. He fixes phones way better than I do. What's really sad about YouTube is that I have as many subscribers as I do, whereas all these people who are more talented than I am, like Mark, don't. That is the unfairness of life. What are your thoughts on Sweden, political or otherwise? I don't live in Sweden. I think so. I don't really have much to say. I don't have any experience in Sweden. I can only speak from what I hear on news websites, which means that all I know is, in general, all the things that I know are things that are typically most likely biased and selling me an agenda. The only thing that I can speak in large generalities about a lot of Europe is that I get people in my comments feed constantly. Do you browse G regularly? No, not since I was 14. Based on music preference, you should check out HAKKO, Arion. I will check them out. Is that I'll get all these comments in my live stream saying, what do you use for this? And I'll post a piece of the gear, and they'll go, oh, I can't get that in my country. Or, oh, where I live, it's like $500 or $600, whereas for you, it's $100. And I'll go, where do you live? And it's always Europe. So I kind of wonder, why do I keep getting those types of comments? Why is everything so expensive there? Have you ever had the mindset that you constantly think that you don't know enough? Yes. So what are your thoughts on getting a master's degree to learn more? If you want to get a master's degree, go for it. Just make sure you're getting A, something that you have the funding for already, or B, something that will make its money back. I think too many people go to college nowadays not realizing that it's not a guarantee you're going to get your money back. It is very easy to spend 20 or 40 or 80 or 200,000 bucks in a degree that makes you absolutely no money. How long are you going to keep playing it safe? I am probably going to be wearing a condom till the day I die, my friend. I intend to play it safe up until the absolute bitter end. But yeah, my thoughts in general when it comes to Europe, the only thing that I really have a lot of experience with is my comment section. And one of the questions that I get regularly from European viewers is, well, I can't get this in my country because it costs too much. What alternative do you have? Or, well, I have to make do with this type of tool because I can't get this in my country. And my question is always generally, well, why is that the case? Let's see. Should Trump use Twitter? Twitter is a platform for trolling. So absolutely, Trump should use Twitter because Trump is a troll and Twitter is for trolling. It's one of the reasons that I deleted my Twitter, because I don't feel like being trolled constantly or taking part in trolling from a platform that seems to bring out the worst in human beings. Think shitty kids is the result of dual-income houses that send kids to careless daycares all day, and then tired parents don't correct shitty kids. I wouldn't call kids shitty. I would call the people who are raising them shitty. Yeah. There's very isolated cases of that, but for the most part, I think that yeah. I'm not a fan of daycare. I don't want to put my kids in daycare. If anything, all the reason I'm doing all the work I'm doing now is so that my kids never have to be in daycare. I'd love to be a stay-at-home dad. How do you dispose of swollen MacBook Pro batteries in New York City? I have a carting company called Mr. T Carting, and when my container fills up, I call them and say, I would like an e-waste pickup, please, and then they show up and pick up e-waste. In the beginning, they didn't really want to do that, but I kept calling them and bothering them and calling them and bothering them and calling them and bothering them and calling them and bothering them, and eventually I got an e-waste pickup for less than the $500 to $1,500 that they wanted. I have to buy a MacBook Pro for my photography course. I don't want one because of what you've taught me. What should I get instead? You should get a ThinkPad P50. Why is my wife cheating on me? Probably because the rest of you matches your nickname. You made that too easy. What's the best way to dispose of MacBook batteries in New York City? Mr. T. Carding. Is it too late for a 31-year-old to start doing what you're doing? I'm in a third world country, Philippines. No, if anything, the fact that you're in a third world country means people are probably not going to have the money to buy a new one, which means they have to fix what they have, which means there's a market for you. So go. And no, it's not too late. As long as you're alive, it's not fucking too late. That used to drive me nuts when I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm starting college late. It's over. My life is over. Get out of that. When I visit New York, let me know what time you bike to work so I can stand in the bike lane. I will cut you. Let's see. Is the SSD in the MacBook 2017 soldered? Touch bar, yes. Non-touch bar, no. How do you feel about smart light bulbs? My light bulbs are dumb and I like them that way. You think I'm a troll and just a supporter? Probably are. Don't forget to subscribe. Mark Schaefer on YouTube. Crap, I am behind by 10 minutes in comments. Shit. Skid Row funded 99 cents. Thank you. Schooling, books, and recommendations on learning. This channel! This channel! Watch! Pay attention! More rant videos, maybe. Is it safe to cover the middle pin in MagSafe charger with tape to prevent Mac from charging? Why are you doing this? Why? Don't do such things. Don't do such things. There are many design flaws in Apple products. The MacBook is designed to charge when you plug it in. That's a feature. That's not a flaw. And it's a good feature. I claim, let's see. Upgraded to an S10e for $550 from S7, same size. No. An S10e, to my knowledge, is 5.8 inches. This is a 5-inch phone. 5 inches is smaller than 5.8 inches. I know from experience. How'd you meet your girlfriend? I met my girlfriend. I'll let her tell the story. I love you, you're a cutie. What do you think of Lenovo Flex laptops? I think any Lenovo that is not an T, a P, a W, or an X series ThinkPad is probably a piece of shit. Every good thing that I have to say about ThinkPads or Lenovo's applies to the P series, T series, X series, W series. The rest of the Lenovo stuff is just as bad as every other crappy company, in my opinion, if not worse. Jess says, do you know what I did to the man at the rest stop who cussed me out today? You told him, motherfucker, I'm Jessa and I can deadlift over 300 pounds. Eat blade. Because that's what Jessa would do. What if I put the microwave dishwash MacBook under a heat gun? Stop, you're hurting me. What's your favorite color? Blue. MacBook Pro and clamshell mode with an eGPU last longer or less likely for something to go poop? I don't know. Using the GPU less means less likely for things to go poof. I wouldn't close it though. Maybe this. Why do you think socialism is a bad model compared to runaway capitalism, i.e. how the U.S. has no universal health care versus the rest of the first world? I don't think you need to have socialism to have a universal healthcare system. You can have a capitalist system, whereas you can have a capitalist system with socialized medicine that's different from having an entirely socialized system. So the first thing there is the false dichotomy that you need to have socialism in order to have a universal healthcare system. In terms of that, our healthcare sucks balls. There's a lot of problems with it. There's a lot of problems with healthcare in other areas of the world as well. But that is something for other people to fight and argue about. I argue and advocate for repair and for people making money for themselves. Let somebody else do the whole universal healthcare versus privatized shit debate. I feel like Lewis. I'm in Las Vegas for work and not drinking or gambling. This isn't the city for me. Like, I wouldn't like the idea of somebody else being able to set prices of things. As a dumb electrician, I appreciate your analysis of low voltage amperage things. Like the very fact that repairs are a ripoff for a long time was price was an excellent signal that said, you know, you may not know a lot about this and you may not have a lot in the bank, but it may be worth it to invest all of your fucking money and all of your time into this field over here because everybody else is charging a little too much. And it was. Price is great. I like price. Price is a good way to move people to the right field. What battery you have in your Bafang bike? What is the farthest you've ridden on without pedaling? Probably about 20 miles. That's not because the battery ran out. That's just because I got where I was going. EM3EV makes excellent batteries. That's EM3EV. They have a really cool Bluetooth app that comes with them. They're put together really well. I recommend them. Rico Valley donated 2. Thank you very much. What's with all the spammers? Too many subscribers. Can you mod me here so I can kill the spam? Absolutely, Teresa. Even though I'm 7 minutes late. Sorry. Can I work for you from home? Probably not. Mod me too, please. Did Hi seriously delete Erica's message? Okay, Hi's getting fired. Will you give me the mic if I fix your PC? No, my PC works. Will you ever ride with one again? Oh, I love my Bafang. Of course. If Apple offered you a job, would you take it? What am I doing? Am I a genius? No. Am I a salesperson? No. Am I fixing up their repair and supply chain in some way, or contributing to their repair and supply chain in a manner that helps their the most amount of their customers get what they need at a reasonable price? Then maybe, probably. I think I would take that job. I think I would take the job that allows me to help the most people. I do the job that I do right now because it allows me to use my limited skill set, my tiny brain, and my crappy abilities to help the most people that I can. And if I could help more people by working at Apple, I would. But I actually applied to work at an Apple store, not even genius level, in 2007 when I was dead broke, and yeah, I couldn't even get a job doing that. Where is a good place to start practicing computer repair without destroying your own friend's computer? I have no experience and want to learn. You're going to want to find recycled stuff, or stuff that people are giving away, or stuff that's being sold dirt cheap. That's what I did. What do you think of Lenovo Flex laptops? I think I answered that one. Do all New Yorkers talk fast? Yes, especially ones that have one question coming in every 20 to 30 seconds. Can this be fixed? Imager dot. Let's see. What are you bringing me to here? Hopefully you're not bringing me to some sort of strange pornography. Can that be fixed? Oh God. Yeah, you're kind of fucked, my friend. Well, it depends on whether there's data points in here, and here's the thing. So you see all these holes over here? I don't know much about this, and again, I only have about 10 seconds to answer your question before another one shows up. But if there's data going through this section and you've got this there, probably not. If this is just some one-layer PCB, then maybe it is fixable. Will girlfriend do a board repair? Thanks for the Duck Apple LCD. Thank you very much for buying a fuck Apple LCD, by the way. I hope it went to good use, and yeah, absolutely. She's going to be fixing the rest of her Apple products. I told her you get one repair, and that's it. After that, you are stuck fixing them on your own, girl. Do you think hipsters in the future will use dial-up internet as they do with vinyl or vacuum tubes? No. Although that is interesting. Brand of acoustic panels. They used to be self. Any mod, why did I get temp band? Hi will fix that. What do you think of college and Google's college? Google as a college? I'm behind the times. I didn't hear of that. Brand of acoustic panels. My originals were self-built. After that, ATS acoustics. They were the cheapest ones that you could get with quality fiberglass. You make me want to switch my major. Hopefully you have a real major. You do espresso, matcha, lime? No, I do water. This is a container of water. I drink 2 of them a day. Do you know your hat size? I don't wear hats, so I don't know my size. I have a spare Google Pixel 1st Gen. If I mail it to you, would you switch to it? I don't know much about the Pixel. Isn't the Pixel the phone where they made fun of Apple for not having a headphone jack and then got rid of the headphone jack in the newer model? Oh, man. I am 6'9". Big phones are my only option. That's the thing. I don't mind there being a plus-size version of the phone. I don't mind there being a Note. I don't mind there being an iPhone Plus or Samsung having a Plus version. Make a version for the people that have little Trump hands like me. My hands are probably smaller than Trump's. I need a phone that fits me, and which is why I'm probably going to wind up with a fucking iPhone. Most likely, my next phone is going to be an iPhone SE. Used, of course. I don't want Apple to make any money off me. But seriously. Discord link doesn't work. Yes, it doesn't, and I can't fix it right now because another question's going to show up before I switch windows. Like it just did. Have you kept in touch with Linus? Yes, I have. I may actually be showing up at LTX this year, so stay tuned for that. We may be showing up there. Great channel, bro. Do you invest? I mostly invest in myself, but yes, I do have investments. Some do well, some do terribly, and that's that. Should I stand up against my bully if the person who bullies me for a sense of self-control is myself? I think you need to seek therapy. Seek therapy. When are you going to throw another water bottle? I don't remember throwing a water bottle. What do you value most in a romantic relationship? I would say values or virtues. What are you fighting for in the world? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to change? How are you trying to make the world a better place through being the person that you are? Are you trying to make the world a better place through being who you are? Are you a person that actually does things? Stop asking that stupid question. Are you somebody who's actually trying to make the world a better place, or are you somebody who just holds a sign and pretends to care about the world being a better place because that'll get you more attention that day? I want to be with somebody who wants to see the world be a better place, who puts in active effort to be the change they want to see in the world, rather than just holding up a fucking sign or wearing a T-shirt or having a Twitter or that where they retweet shit that makes them seem like they want to be better. I want to be with people who don't care about appearing better, but people who genuinely, in the back room, when there's no attention, when the cameras and the lights are off, when there's nobody filming them for Instagram, actually wants to see the world be a better place. Who asked the same as for me. Are super chat donations tax deductible? That is like a 20-minute comment that I responded to 20 minutes ago. Nice job, Streamlabs. Can you mod me here so I can kill the spam? That comment is like 20 minutes old. Sorry, Teresa. I think I did. But yeah, what I value in a romantic relationship is definitely that. Somebody who wants to see the world be a better place, who puts in the effort to make it be a better place, and doesn't care if they get no recognition for it. What's with the stream? It's like 2,000... That is, I think I answered that. You funded ass? Really, Paul? Really? I thought you were one of the good ones. Google are a bunch of scammers. Changed my mind. You're asking the wrong person. What is the bad part of having a company on YouTube? Ooh, good one. Bad part of having a company on YouTube is that people know that they can call you. This is even before I had the amount of subscribers I do now. Even back when I had like 300. People would call me to know if is this compatible with that? What do I do when I have this problem? The biggest mistake that I made, the absolute biggest mistake that I made over the course of the last, I would say 4 to 5 years when it comes to business, is the fact that how do I put this? Oh, I forgot what I was saying because it's late. My phone number and my business name are online. Can I teach people without having people know who I am? I could have done that. I could have used a vocoder. I didn't have to have a camera on my face. None of the things that I do require that you know who I am. The biggest mistake that I made was assuming that nobody would give a shit about what I was talking about, so I could just put my name out there. If I knew that more than 300 people would be watching, you could bet your ass my name, my business information, all that shit would have been hidden. I had no problem with customers coming in the door. Before I started doing YouTube, that was just fine. Would you be surprised if I said my... Yes, I would. That doesn't actually work. How do you call the American healthcare system capitalist when I can't even get a price quote? That's an excellent point. Again, you don't have to tell me about the things that suck about American healthcare. I'm just saying that I've yet to hear of the perfect system. There's always pluses and minuses. I was a healthcare salesperson for Atlantis Healthcare for 45 minutes in 2008, and there's a reason that I only had the enough stomach to work at that company for 45 minutes, which maybe I can discuss at a later date if I remember all the details. But yeah, I was actually certified to sell health insurance, and I was involved in the business of selling healthcare, and I had about 45 minutes of it in me before I just walked out of the job without anything. Have you read Atlas Shrugged? A long time ago. How long do you think Apple will last? I have no idea. Would you collaborate with Nitrocaster for MacBook mod? Nitrocaster's IQ is up here. Mine is where you can't even see it on the camera. So that I probably wouldn't, because Nitrocaster is in a different league from me. There are just people that you're going to meet where it's not even like they're a little bit above you. They're just in a different league from you, and you're not even going to be able to catch up. And Nitrocaster is one of those individuals. Thank you for answering my question genuinely. Awesome. Yeah, you should check out Nitrocaster. Pavel Kovalenko. Does anyone else have like a personal challenge to see how complex a question you can answer in 50 characters or less? No. When are we doing the Tim Cook crowdfunded interview? When hell freezes over. How much was your bike? Like $900 to $1,000 plus all the stuff that I put into it. Did you see my donation? I don't know. If you said what your donation was, then I could say if I did or not. But I don't know if I saw your donation because I don't know what your donation is. I'd have to know what you said in your donation in order to know if I saw your donation. So unfortunately, I don't. And now I'm sorry. Did I miss a donation? Hi. I'm sorry. I'm trying to juggle far too many. I should have done this when there was somebody else to read me this stuff. My apologies. What do you think of Google's college program and college in general? I think too many people are going to college when we need people to do other stuff. I think like we have a lot of people going to college that want to be scientists. We have a lot of people going to college that want to be programmers. Can we get a couple of people to like do things like build stuff, build housing, build, plumbers, the rest of it? You know how old tradespeople are in New York City? Really, the average age of a tradesperson is something like 53 years old here. We need people to do all that other stuff, but they don't want to do that other stuff. But I also think there's too many people going to college for things that nobody is really going to pay them for. If you're going to college to try and become an engineer, chemical engineer, you're going to college to become a doctor, lawyer, but if you're going to college, that's great. If you're going to college for something, if you're going to, don't spend $80,000 on something that nobody will pay you for. And really think about whether or not there are people who will actually pay you for it and how important it is before you spend a lot of money in it. And I really wish guidance counselors were honest. I wish they were honest and had a nice sit-down conversation and said, you can get this degree. Paul said I could be your new shenanigans director. Cool. I think it would be great if they said, listen, it's great that you want to go for this and want to learn it. If you do that, you will be in debt for the rest of your life. No employer will want to hire you because of this degree, and you're going to be spending $80,000 on a passion project. Is that okay with you? Are you sure that's okay with you? I'm not even going to let you sign this form until next week. You have to think about this for a week, then bring it back to me. I'd like to see more guidance counselors do that. After how much time did you hire your first employee? 3 years? There was a friend of mine that was actually helping me with shipping packages in the absolute beginning, and I remember paying him in chicken rolls. We would go to Amadeus Pizza. He'd be hungry, and I'd say, I would be broke too, so I wouldn't have much. And when I went to get my chicken roll, I said, I'll cover yours if you help me ship some boxes, and he'd say, sure. That was my best friend. His name was Jake, and he'll still remember it. Let's see. If you mod me here, I'll be happy to help. That would be awesome. All right, let me... Lenovo is a Chinese brand. Do you think they spy on their users and give that information to the Chinese government? Do you believe Linux is the future? I don't believe Linux is the future because I used to, like in 2003, 2004, I did for consumers, and now it's 2019, and like, nah, something else. What's the worst possible question I could ask you? Just read YouTube comments, most of them, really. Let's see. You like Casey Neistat? I do not like nor dislike Casey Neistat. What brand microscope do you use? It's an Amscope. You can see it in the description down below. And starting next month, we're going to start selling Rossmann branded microscopes, which is 99% the same thing I'm using right now, just with a better setup for the camera so that the image quality is as good as what I have here and not as crappy as what you get with the new cheap-ass adapters they're shipping with them. Have you used silicon-modified conformal coating? No. Your very bright Lewis education does not equal intelligence. Indeed, I do not have education or intelligence. I'm a magical combination. Shit, I am behind by 10 minutes in comments. Do you have questions that haven't been answered? Email hi at Rossford Group for an answer. Yes, hi will kick me about all the donations I forgot to read. Don't delay, send your MacBook in today. You break it, he fixes it. You're still biking and videoing. Love your channel. Thank you. I have to buy a MacBook Pro for my photography course. I don't want to buy one because you taught me well. What should I get instead? A ThinkPad P50. I think you should get a ThinkPad P50. Do you think any of your employees think you're a bad boss? Probably all of them. I'm an asshole. I really want the customer to have the best experience when they come here, in spite of all the jokes and shenanigans I say, and I have ridiculously high standards. I want the customer to have the type of experience that I would want to have if I were a customer of my own company, and that likely means that I'm being an asshole to my employees a lot of the time because we're all working in a too tiny space and all that. Thanks for your recommendation of the 2013 MacBook Pro. All my apps open with blistering speeds. I got the one with the GeForce GT 750M. Awesome. And by the way, for all of you who said that I was recommending the wrong model, 1 month after that video came out, Apple recalled another fucking computer because the batteries catch fire. So just saying. I'll told you so that. Louis, why are you recommending the 2013 instead of the 2015-16? Month later, they blow up. Now, I didn't know they blew up, but I did know based on the trackpad cable and based on whoever decided to make the fans not turn on for another 10 or 20 Celsius that there was a dumbass involved in the 2015-16 ones that was not involved in the 2013-14 ones. What's the best way to dispose of swollen MacBook batteries in New York City? Mr. T. Carding. Mr. T. Carding throws them away. Will you vote for Trump if Warren gets nominated? Don't make me think about things like that. Don't depress me. Come on. Don't depress me. I'll write in Mr. Clinton. Trump or Warren? Trump or Warren? Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. What's your opinion of the Zotac gaming PCs with the RTS 2080 NVIDIA? I don't know much about those. What are your thoughts on Sweden politically? Otherwise, I think I answered that 20 minutes ago, and this thing is resending me old donations. Someone says you look Republican. How can somebody look Republican? Like, I get how somebody can look, maybe, I don't know about this. If I had blue hair, like, because here's the thing, there are Democrats that are people, and then there are the Democrats with the blue hair, get your hate speech off my campus kind of thing. But I don't really know that there's a way that somebody can look conservative. I mean, maybe if they were the stereotype, stereotypical stockbroker-looking person or something, but I don't really think I look like that. I kind of think I don't look like anything. I hope that I don't look like anything. I want to look like me, really. I don't want to look like a Democrat or a Republican. I don't want to look like a hipster or a stockbroker. Kind of just want to look like Lewis. Thanks for saving me time and money, posting your techniques and tools after figuring out what is best. That is appreciated. That is way too much fucking money, but thank you very much. I highly appreciate it. Watching Rossmann videos makes me want to go to college. I'm doing it wrong. Reasons for disliking Windows 10. I just want to hear your reasons personally. On a side note, Intel or AMD for CPUs. Also from New York. Here's some money. So your content is educational and fun. AMD over Intel for the sole reason that there's no Intel management engine. Fuck the Intel management engine. Fuck ME. Besides that, it used to be Intel because in spite of ME, I'll put up with it for the fact that I'm getting a real processor. But now with Threadripper, I don't really have to care about that. In the mobile space, I don't see AMD competing with Intel as well as they are on the desktop. Reasons for disliking Windows 10. All the telemetry shit, and it's more resource usage, more CPU usage, more memory usage, not enough features to really make it worthwhile. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? I have no idea where I see myself in 10 years. 10 years ago, I thought I'd still be doing house calls 10 years ago at this time. I really thought I'd still just be going door to door by myself, replacing screens and putting water-damaged computers in ultrasonic cleaners. So it's hard to say. Have you used Ubuntu 18? I haven't. Where is your girlfriend from? She is from Hawaii. Can you and Flossie Carter have a cat play date? What is a Flossie Carter? I haven't flossed in a while, actually. Is common sense an overpowered skill nowadays? Common sense is something very few people have, including myself. Is it too late for a 31-year-old to start doing what you're doing, and I'm in a third world country, Philippines? I think I answered that one 30 minutes ago, but it is posting everything late. Just for those who think it's not new, yes, you absolutely can, and no, it is not too late because you're old. And 31 is not even old, so what the fuck are you talking about? How many hours do you work a day, and where's Jake now? I work different hours. Some days 3, sometimes 5, some days 12. It really depends on the day. Jake, I think, has his own studio now. Yeah, I didn't have... Sam Fields helped me gain common sense in my first job. I hated him so much because he would point out every single day all the ways in which I failed. All the ways in which somebody else would have come to a certain conclusion based on the data available by asking open-ended questions, and then how I didn't. And it was just something that had to be beaten into me, really. Not physically, but, How do you deal with burnout? Have you experienced your coworkers burning out? How have you handled that? I've had coworkers get burned out, and the reality is what they needed to do was get another job. I had one person working here who really did not like the fact that he was still working here. He thought, once you reach a certain age, you should not be doing break-fix stuff, and that's totally fine. I have no problem with that. What wasn't great was that he came here every day with this attitude, like, man, it really fucking sucks being here, and he was getting paid better than everybody else here. In fact, at the time, he was fucking getting paid better than I was. He was getting paid better than me, and I owned the damn company, and he was still not happy. And the thing is, money wouldn't have done anything. It was just he genuinely didn't like it. He felt like he was above being here. He wanted to do something else with his life. When times got tough, or when there was a financial burden, it was a surprise because I wound up letting him go rather than the people that were started here sooner. So he had seniority, and he got let go. So again, if I have a choice, a binary choice, it's either you or you, and you're happy to be here and you're not, he wound up getting a better job, which is what he should have done. It's just he needed the push. More rant videos at some point. Yeah, he needed a push to do what he really wanted to do. He was making enough money here to live his life, to go on vacation, for his family to be able to do what he wanted, to live in a luxury building. He made enough money working here that he could live his life to the point where it wasn't worth the risk of starting from scratch and getting a new job. Schooling, books, any recommendations on learning? This channel. What is a good Bluetooth headset? I'm still looking for that. Want more live stream content? Check out our live stream channel. Awesome. I think you missed my donation in chat, but it's coming up on the screen now. Please message hi with that, or just put it in the general chat. I may have missed one, but there's so many. Why do you recommend a ThinkPad P50? You should check out my review of it, the ThinkPad P50 on my channel. I like the track point versus other forms of input. I like the fact that it doesn't overheat, even when you're putting full load in the GPU and the CPU. I like the fact that you could spill a quart of water on it while it is running Prime 95, and not only does it not die, but Prime 95 doesn't even error. The only thing I don't like about it is that if you get the base 1080p model that I got, you get a shitty screen. That's one area that Apple succeeds at that Lenovo doesn't. Lenovo will often give you a shit screen, which sucks. I used to work in a shop like this. Owner was insane. It made me stand outside in a giant iPhone to promote the store. You know, we're thinking of doing that to Kevin if he misses Fresh Desk tickets someday. Wouldn't the P50 be overkill for a photography course? Maybe. That's why I would suggest you research what laptop you want to get yourself rather than asking for my recommendation. Who is the congressional candidate you interviewed? Was it AOC? No. It was somebody equally as bad, except on my side of the aisle. I forget her name, though. It was terrible. They had no concept of what was going on in the world. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And they didn't get elected because it was terrible. Advice for someone asking for a raise. I'm an electrical engineer. Well, I would say if you're asking for a raise, even if you're worth the raise, I would still try to phrase it like you're looking for more responsibility, or like, so this is something that I did that I don't usually do, or this is something that I did that was outside my job description, or this is an area where I could have put in this much effort and I put in this much effort and this was the outcome. So I engineered a product better, or I made the company more money this way, and then say, do you think I'm worth a cut of that? Make it a question for them. Do you think I'm worth a cut of it? And and see what happens. I came across your channel by accident. I'm glad I did because, I'm not quite sure if I'm the best person to look up to, but thank you. Also, I think that's a 30-minute-old comment. Let's see. I'm behind by 6 minutes. How do you feel about insurance fraud? You'd have to ask the people that... Well, there are certain people that have a conspiracy theory that the fire that keeps happening in my building is not exactly an organic fire. As long as, I would hope that I don't get burned down in an insurance fraud. It is a theory, just a theory that I've heard people have. I think I answered that one already. Thank you very much, NPW913. How many bags of Skittles does Lewis pay you a week? I pay high on M&Ms, thank you very much. Do I have easy access to Streamlabs, or do I have to ask you for the password? Shit, yeah, you'd have to ask me for the password. And it also... Let's see. What do you think the world will be like in 40 years? Please don't underscore your level of knowledge, because someone may know a few things that you don't. Doesn't make you knowledgeable. You have 850,000 interested in your info. Yeah, but by that, if we're saying I have 850,000 people interested in my info, there's like five times as many people interested in Tech Racks, and Tech Racks takes burning liquid and puts it on top of bugs. So there's that. That's not exact. I'm not going to use the subscriber number as a metric to define intelligence. If your mods need some help, I'll be happy to help. What is a good Bluetooth headset? Sure. Teresa's the best mod. Needs an Xmas bonus. Google added the headphone jack with the Pixel 3a. Also, can I be a mod on the main channel? What the hell? Here, you're a good mod on the other one. So, actually, you can't be, because when I click the 3 fucking buttons next to a name, and if you are, yeah, it's not actually. Are you seriously not allowing me to make you a mod? Yeah, I can't make you a mod because the 3 button clicks isn't working. Sorry. What are your thoughts on late 80s and early 90s Sansoy amplifiers? I've never tried a Sansoy. What battery do you have in your Bafang? EM3EV. It's a very good one. I think I answered that one already. Why do we never see you repair iMacs? Because most people don't spill water on them. So, Whether you believe in flat earth theory or whether you believe in round earth theory. We're not going to get into that debate, even though the earth is clearly round. Water falls down. It does not fall horizontally. Water does not fall forward. So if I spill this tea like that, the water goes this way, not that way. Now, typically, the MacBook is this way. The iMac is this way. Since the iMac is that way and the MacBook is this way, when the water falls, it's going to damage the MacBook, not the iMac. I don't know what the fuck theory you'd have to believe in for the water to go that way. Have you met Paul Daniels in person? I lulled when you posted the video about his amount of flux. Yes, the video of Paul Daniels failing. Yes. I haven't met him in person, but I hope to meet him for the 1 million subscriber event, whatever that winds up being. Employee says, I'm on the boat right now. Oh, boy. What do you think about building a Raspberry Pi-based camera for live streaming bike videos instead of your phone or GoPro? I think that would be a nightmare. If I had a lot of spare time and nothing else to do, maybe. Or much more intelligent. Can this be fixed? I think I already said probably not, unless it's a one-layered board on that one. Okay, I'm caught up. I may miss some. Too many people think you warranty fix everything. Very few people think I'm Apple warranty. I think I've done a pretty decent job of letting people know that I'm not affiliated with Apple. Once a year, I'll have somebody walk in thinking and complaining that I don't do repairs under AppleCare because they'll think I'm affiliated with Apple, and I will set them straight immediately. I want nobody to think that I'm affiliated with them. It's the exact opposite of what you think when somebody is wants you to believe that they're affiliated with Apple because it adds legitimacy. I don't. What is the best operating system in your honest opinion on what hardware? That really depends on what you want to do. That's not something for me to say. If I was just doing basic web browsing and stuff and I did not need any sort of specialized hardware, I did not need a Stream Deck to work, I did not want certain audio plugins to work, probably Linux. If I was doing live recording of audio in a mission-critical environment, probably OS X. For the average everyday person, probably Windows, or somebody who just needs... what do you think of college and Google's college? I think I answered that one already. At what point would you be content with the way your business life is? I will never be content. I'm trying to remember who... Was it Dostoevsky? He had this interesting writing about how somebody would... Regardless of how many cakes you have, you're always going to try to get more. You're never going to be content. Are you kidding me? There's always... Once I've solved all the problems there are to solve, I'd probably make another problem just to solve it. I don't know. That's human nature. Any mod, why did I get temp banned? Hi, look into it. Go, hi, go. Have you ever considered expanding into other groups, brands of laptop repair? I know Max probably feed you twice the money. It's not really the money thing, to be honest with you. I mean, it is money, but it's not about the most money. The issue is that people expect things to be done in a few business days. If it's not fixed in a few business days, they will call and cry and scream and bitch and tear your ear off and beat the crap out of you. So the only way that I can do that is if I have parts, schematics, diagrams, everything, even known working samples on site for that model. Then I can guarantee repair in those few days that people demand it be done in so that they don't kill me. And maybe it's the Amazon priming of the world or that have set consumer expectations to that point, but that's the way it is. It's not like I made it that way, it's just the way it is. So I can only do that if I have all the parts and every schematics, diagrams, etc. on site for everything. Now, Apple makes maybe 1 or 2 different models every 1 or 2 to 3 years. That makes it easy. Other companies make, fucking 10 or 13 different models a year. That makes it hard. It's not just that, but it's that now I have to do that for every single other company. So I want to be a company. I don't want to be a 2 or 3 star business because there's a lot of shit that I could change if I didn't care about being a 2 or 3 star business. I want to be a top-notch business. I want to be the type of place that I would want to be a customer of if it was my own stuff. And it's hard to do that if you need to have parts and shit available forever. Now, if we lived in a world where I could just go to a manufacturer's website and easily order parts or easily ask for schematics or diagrams, where I didn't have to go through the Shawshank Redemption sewer of shit to get parts the way that I do right now, maybe there would be a different way of doing things. Maybe I'd be interested in serving more companies. But the reality is there is that Shawshank sewer redemption sewer of shit that you have to go through to get parts, schematics, diagrams, etc. And that is why I focus on one brand. Is 2012 MacBook Pro not worth it in 2019? 1280 by 800, my friend. 1280 by 800. I'll just leave it at that. 13-inch screen, 1280 by 800. Hi, that's a password that I cannot give you because you will have access to my bank account. I like you, hi, but you've ran off just one too many times for me to give you a password that's going to get me in trouble. What's your hardest fix on a daily basis? Missing PM sleep, S4L. Do you know anyone with your skills or justice teaching in LA? Nope. Is it true Paul Daniels is a CIA operative? It's perhaps. What would be the startup cost of a repair shop of your caliber, including the tools and the people? Say someone wants to start a clone in Greece. If you want to start out the gate with everything that I have, probably $20,000 or $30,000. If you want, actually no. If we're adding all the data recovery crap, probably like closer to 50. Yeah, probably 50 or 60. If you want to just get started, you just want a base get started, and you don't care about not being able to offer everything, $268, same as me. How big do you plan to grow your business? As big as it's supposed to be, really. I'm not going out of my way to invest in advertising and opening a bunch of new spaces. I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to become the best I can at the things that I do that people are willing to pay me for. If business shows up, great, I'll get bigger. If business doesn't show up, fuck it, I'll go over to fix Bafangs. What is the role of the poor in a capitalist system? I don't know. When I was poor, when I was really broke and I was in a capitalist system, what I did is I worked for free. I was an intern at Avatar Studios while I simultaneously worked someplace else. So I worked 80 hours a week. I probably came home with $400 to $600 a month. And I was also living in an apartment at some point that had termites in it. And then I don't know, I found things that people needed done that weren't being done, and I did them. That's what I did. How do you feel about viewers visiting the store? Nah. I'm just going to stare at you like you're a dragon, and you're probably going to be disappointed in me. Sorry. Not a very social person. I don't know. I could just speak for myself. When I was broke, I figured out the shit that needed to be done, that other people were not doing because they thought they were above it, and I did them. Super Chat never showed up in streams. I'm trying here. How do you deal with burnout? How do you deal with employee burnout? Asking as someone doing a software startup. I think I answered that already. I think I actually gave you a 5-minute answer regarding the employee that I wound up letting go when times were tough because it was difficult, and it was... yeah, I'm pretty sure I answered this one already, and I don't think I have the energy to answer it again. I'm sorry. Long story short... If somebody's burned out, have a conversation with them as to why they're burned out. If they're burned out because they just don't want to fucking do this anymore, there's nothing you can do. If they're burned out because they need a vacation, give them some time off. But you have to figure out which it is, because if you give time off to somebody who genuinely doesn't want to do something anymore, then there's not much that you can do. They need to be able to move on and do the thing that they want to do with their life. I did answer that question already, though. I do believe I read that message. So it was about... Yeah, I did give a good 5-minute answer to that, so must move on. What was I just saying? Oh, yeah, the purpose of poor and capitalist system. So here's one of the things that people don't think about when they're thinking about poor and a capitalist system. So there are a lot of jobs that other people thought they were above doing, and that I was not above doing. And some of those jobs actually had a good amount of money involved in them. Like let's just take a really basic, stupid ass example. It's probably a dumb example, but it's a real one because it was the example for me. The company that I worked at for a few days before quitting, they would replace the entire screen assembly. They did not replace the screen by themselves. They felt they were above having to search for that. They were above having to do the extra work of installing a screen versus a screen assembly. I thought to myself, well, I'm fucking broke. I'm not above that. And if I can make an additional $150 doing work that you think you're above doing, I'll fucking do it. And what happened is that people were actually happy to not only save $100, but I was also happy to be making an additional $150. And I had a nice little line of people calling me on a regular basis. So I just found the shit that somebody who is too rich or too spoiled or too used to business being done in the way that they just didn't want to grind anymore. I found the shit that they didn't want to do, and I did it. And I think that is the role. Find shit that other people don't want. Find shit that the rich or the middle class or the... oh my God, there's too many fucking questions. What are the top 5 you recommend someone new to device repair to get? I don't know what you're fixing, so I can't answer that. Thank you for answering my question. Genuinely, thank you for asking. Top item you would recommend? I don't know what you're fixing. Are you doing glass-only repairs on phones? Are you looking to do micro-soldering repairs? Are you a plumber? I really have no idea. You know what I'm going to say? Ultrasonic cleaner. Get an ultrasonic cleaner. Are you in construction? Get an ultrasonic cleaner. Do you want to do glass-only repairs? Get an ultrasonic cleaner. You want to do board? No, seriously. I need to know what it is you're actually fixing. That's an impossible question to answer. That's like saying, what flavor do I get? What's the bad part of a company on YouTube? I think I answered that one already. But yeah, ultrasonic cleaner. That did the most for me. And again, something that a lot of other companies didn't want to do. Water damage. They were above water damage. They were too good to do water damage repair. You think you're too good to do water damage repair because your company's doing well and you're making your 5 to 6 figures of income and you don't... Okay, that's cool. I'll take your client list. I'll take all the people that you say no to. And here's the thing. That's a cycle. That's going to keep happening. Because there's a lot of repairs I say no to. Did I not just say in the beginning of the stream, after how much time did you hire your first employee? 3 years. Well, I think I already answered that. Damn, Streamlabs is slow. At the beginning of the stream, one of the first questions, why don't you fix phones that you sell parts to? Because there's not enough money in it. You know what that should signal to you if you're broke? Well, Lewis thinks he's too good to do that. I don't think I'm too good to do it. I just can't afford to pay people what I need to pay them to do it. But I digress. I can't figure out how to make it work. But what if you can? Here's the thing. I have to pay 12 employees. I have to pay rent. I have to pay for an apartment that does not have termites in it. When I was paying $400 a month and sharing my place with other people, I could afford to do things that people who were paying I could afford to undercut people who couldn't because they were paying $2,000 or $3,000 a month for their apartment. So one of the interesting things about being poor, and this is going to sound fucked up, but at least was my experience, is that being poor, excuse me, still sick it seems. Sorry. One of the interesting things about being poor, interesting as I say poor, I get sick, is that you can afford to do things that the rich actually can't. Because if you're rich, that is bad RAM. If it's fast beeping, that's going to be bad RAM. Slow beeping, dead CPU. Fast beeping, make sure your vCore, your memory VDIM rails are there. If they're not, figure out why. If they are, reflow your RAM. If that doesn't work, replace your RAM. If it's not that, then it's CPU. If it's slow beeping CPU, chuck it. But yeah, one of the things about being broke is that you can actually afford to do things that you can't. You can afford to take certain chances that people who are more settled into their lifestyle, who have more money than you, will not. Yes, I'm still biking and videoing. I could afford to take those risks because I was low on the ladder. I didn't have an established lifestyle yet. Therefore, I did not have something to risk. Therefore, I was willing to do things that somebody who was more established wouldn't be willing to do. I don't know if... I hope that makes some sense. But that's one of the few... Because I know when you're broke, because I've been broke, I know when you're broke, there's very little to inspire you. There's very little to say, wow, I'm really happy that I'm broke. I'm not saying you should be happy that you're broke, but I'm saying you should view this a little bit differently to the point where rather than thinking there's nothing about my life that is going to give me an edge up, this is one small area where you may have an edge up. I already answered that one. This is one area where you actually do have an edge up. And the area where you have an edge up is that you are able to start doing things that people who are spoiled or more established or more set in their ways are not. How many employees do you plan on having? As many employees as is necessary to do Anel and Kevin's job. However many people it takes to replace Anel and Kevin. Do you typically have late 2013 MacBook Pro 15-inch screens in stock? Yes. And would a swelling battery potentially cause my trackpad to stop working correctly? Yes, that happens all the time. So the battery... Here's your trackpad, here's your battery. Once the battery goes bad, it does this, and then there's no room for your trackpad to click. What is your motive for morals over money? Many people are motivated by pride and materialism, but you see the bigger picture and keep pushing on. Do you have an end goal? I expect your humility. I'm really not morals over money. I think that in the short term, you can make more money by discarding morals, but I think in the long term, you get more money if you have morals. I think people would rather do business with a moral company. I think people would rather give their money to a moral company. I think employees are going to do better work if they believe that they're working for a moral company. So I think that the two, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I genuinely believe that it is, just from a marketing point of view. There's this company which, if they could get an extra $10 any which way, they would. And there's this company which, if tells people regularly if they should not spend money with them because they care that you get a good result. When you actually need $1,000 data recovery, you're going to trust the company that's about the morals rather than the company about the money. SPI and I2C get into a drunken bar fight. Who wins? USB trounces them all, actually. You know why? Because in a MacBook Air and the A1466, if you get liquid on it, you'll have the point where when you hold down the Option key and you're choosing your operating system, the trackpad and the keyboard will work, but when you get into the operating system, it doesn't. Why? Because you're using a USB data line for the keyboard and trackpad when in EFI, but you're using SPI in the operating system, and the SPI in the operating system always dies before USB. So USB trounces them all. Or should I say rock? I think I answered that one already. Sent you a proposal about an iMac. Do you do it? Do you do it? I have never had sex with an iMac. Do you do it? I have never proposed to an iMac either. I'd like to submit my application for modding. No, I can't mod anybody right now because YouTube is being dumb, and when I click the three dots, it doesn't do anything. You think the day people stop buying Apple is the key to making Linux the future? No, the key to making Linux the future is people developing things for it, really. People don't want to use Linux if when they use Linux, they're restricted in a way where, well, I could use this awesome software that they made for this, or I could use this kind of half-baked together alternative that somebody made for Linux. Once the same thing or better is available on Linux, then sure. For the server room and for enterprise, there's a lot of Linux shit that just kills everything else. But for a lot of niche, the more niche what you're doing or what your field is, the less likely Linux is going to have the exact thing that you need rather than some really cool but admittedly basement-contrived open source implementation that does well. It's just, they didn't have a few $1 million, so they weren't able to manufacture it. They weren't not manufacture. They weren't able to code it the way that the other company would have. Do you game at all? Not anymore. I find this to be a cool game. The game of business and the game of life. And the game of Bafang, really. I don't want to sit there working on a video game when I could sit there building my bike. That's a much cooler game. Would you train people to repair motherboards if they paid you? Please answer. I used to. I stopped because it was driving me crazy. I got sick of people showing up who wouldn't even read the sheet that I sent them. I would say, here's my questions. Here's a sheet. Please read this before you show up. Over 50% of the people who showed up wouldn't even read the sheet. I said, fuck this. I give up. I have a late 2000 laptop. They said my motherboard is bad. They said I need a new one. But I know they're full of it. Won't turn on. I think I need a new one, and should I try and fix it? I don't know what you have. Do you have a late 2011 HP? Do you have a late 2011 printer? Do you have a late 2011 MacBook Pro? If you have a 15 or 17-inch MacBook Pro from 2011, you're fucked. Game over. Move on. If you have something else, maybe it's fixable. But again, I don't know what you have, so unfortunately I can't answer. But if I knew what you have, maybe I could give a different answer. Richard Meyer from iFixit gave $20. Wow, that is amazing. For all the shit I've given people on iFixit answers, you actually gave me $20. That is genuinely heartwarming. Thank you. I don't think I deserve that, but thank you very much to Richard. I appreciate that. Very much. Thank you. I'll try to be nicer on iFixit answers. Can you make a shorter recommended list of computers? ThinkPad P50. The answer to life is ultrasonic cleaners. Have you considered fixing other things like game consoles? No. No. We did a couple of PlayStation 4 HDMI ports. It takes a lot of fucking work and effort to open that whole thing up. And you can't charge more than $50 to replace a PlayStation HDMI port. You can't. People will lose their mind. So it's like an hour of work for $50. And again, this is what I'm saying about where there is one genuine upside. One upside to being broke is I think, well, I can't pay for my apartment and my store rent and 12 employees and insurance and benefits and all this other crap. Who am I kidding? Benefits. I don't even have benefits, but that just came out for some reason. But, I can't pay all the shit that I have to pay and afford to do $50 HDMI port replacements while paying people a good way. I can't do that. But if you're broke, you're thinking to yourself, well, gee, I make no money. $50 sounds great to me. That's an opportunity for you. See what I'm talking about here? That's a good example of what I was talking about. Nathan Knall funded $2. Thank you. What's your opinion on Geek Squad now offering iPhone and MacBook repair? I think it's going to be as awful as everything else Geek Squad does, honestly. Best Buy and Geek Squad have shown time and time again that they're really bad at this. And the people typically the people who are working there because they can't go out on their own, they can't get hired at other repair shops. Typically that's because they're not great at it. And well, there are endless citations and examples of this for people who've had those experiences. Just read online. Do you think there's a space in the Apple repair industry for a chip reballing service only? I don't have the intelligence yet to repair MacBooks. No. Absolutely not. If anything, there is a lot of space for intelligent people who can actually solve problems. But if you're just if you just want to mindlessly, like a drone, swap out chips, no. Reballing doesn't fix shit most of the time anyway. It's a dead chip. Even if you do have the skill set, you then have to acquire the chip and get one that's actually good. That is a nightmare. No, we need more people with brains. We don't need people entering the business that think I don't have a brain, I just want a part swap. No, we have enough of that. No questions just because you stick it to Apple. Thank you very much, Rex Smith. Can I have access to your computer so I can skip all the Streamlabs ones that you haven't answered? If you show up, yes. If you don't show up, then no. Can you fix the Streamlabs? Catch it up. I cannot. I do not work for Streamlabs. I'm sorry. I'm at 12:28 now, so let's keep scrolling. Might be time to go home. Yeah, soon. Oh, shit. I just scrolled, and it scrolled me past 5... God damn it. Sometimes when you're scrolling in the YouTube channel, it'll be 12:26, 12:28, and then it just skips to 12:35. Why not get a Motorola phone? Motorola has entered the land of the crazy. Again, I'm not buying a phone that's larger than 5 inches. And the newest Motorola phones, every single one of them seems to be larger than 5 inches, so I'm done. I'm not buying a new fucking phone. I'll get a used phone. I'll buy an S4. I'll buy a Sony Xperia XZ2, whatever the hell it is that I have to compact. I'll get what I have to get so that I can get a phone that fits my hand. But I'm not giving money to a phone manufacturer that makes a phone where I can't hit one side of it without feeling pain across this section of my hand. I used to be able to do this and touch the other side of the phone without feeling pain over here. I'm not spending money to feel pain in my hand. Fuck that. When did you know you found your life's calling? I don't think I have. I don't know if I have found my life's calling. I think I felt like I found my life's calling in some small way when I realized that very few people were doing a good job at the thing that I was doing, and I had people calling me regularly to give me money doing it around 19, 20 years old. I knew I was on to something, and I knew that this is something that I should hold on to because I felt like I had found my place. People did not care that I was dumb. They did not care that I was inexperienced. They did not care that I was an asshole. They were happy to give me money to do something. And they were happy to pay what I was asking. And I thought, and I was good at it. So I thought, man, that's awesome. I felt like I fit. I don't like T-Series ThinkPads. They are hard to open up. Do some curls. What are you talking about? It's a laptop. Are you fucking kidding me? It's like, you do this. If you can't do this, do some curls, bro. Come on. Maybe some flies. My trainer had me doing some deltoid flies today. I'm actually trying to get back into it. Yeah, just come on, seriously. Can't open a laptop. In terms of finance, what's the riskiest thing you've ever done to support your business? Was it worth it? Moving to the store was a big risk. I sold a bunch of repairs at below market prices, and I said that I was not going to be able to get them done for 6 to 8 weeks. No, actually, it was like 6 to 12 week turnaround time. I sold them below market prices, so I used that money to pay for the store. But then the problem is I had to fix all that stuff later, so I wound up staying at work until 1 or 4 in the morning, and that happened for a good 6 to 8 months until I actually caught up on my Ponzi scheme. So that is what I had to do. That is what I had to do in order to get the store. It wasn't a Ponzi scheme on money so much as it was a Ponzi scheme on my time. I sold more of my time than what I had access to, and that was required in order for me to get this place. But it was very risky. And my PP Bus G3 Hot is too hot. What should I do? Go to a bar and tell the bartender my PP bus is too hot and see what happens. Can you use a temp sensor on multimeter to detect heat in circuit of a laptop? Sure, I just don't know what you would do with it. To detect heat in circuit. Yes. If you have my multimeter has a Type K temperature sensor probe attachment. If you had to live in a different U.S. state, where and why? I haven't traveled enough of the U.S. to know. Nebraska seemed quite peaceful when I visited. Wisconsin seemed nice when I visited. I went to California, and hell no. I'm in New York, and hell no. I went to Massachusetts, and hell no. I like Wisconsin when I visited. I've always wanted to visit Montana for the mountains. What advice would you give someone who's burned out of their job and it pays more than any location nearby? Move! I'm in New York because it pays. I'm not in New York because I like it. If there was a better opportunity elsewhere, I'd be gone. Hi, Lewis. Will Apple ever make good hardware? You know the answer to that. Ashan Galani, thoughts on the iPad Pro? Only seen MacBook Vid. I haven't seen the iPad Pro or used it, so I don't really have much to say except for the fact that it appears to bend. They actually proved me wrong, because I remember saying in that video I did on Tylosive whatever guy, Tylosive Tech, that iPads don't bend, but iPhones do. It's like, oh my god, you released an iPad that bends! I was trolling! I didn't mean it as a challenge! I didn't mean that as a challenge! I did that video about what pisses me off about iPhone Bendgate deniers. And I said that iPads don't bend. That was not a fucking challenge, Tim Cook. Where is your girlfriend from? She is from Hawaii. When are you going to have an in-store cat to stream with? I'm thinking about moving Oreo to the store permanently. And once Oreo is permanently here, he will be streaming with me. Thank you to Yo21 Mike. Money doesn't grow on trees, then why do banks have branches? That's a very good question. Excellent criticism of capitalism in our Federal Reserve System, by the way. What's your opinion on PC brands like Asus? Shit. Dell? Shit. Okay, Dell is mostly shit besides the Precision M6800 line and the business Latitude lines, like the uglier ones, not the sexy ones. Asus makes good desktop motherboards. Their laptops are trash. Etc. Fuck etc. Fuck etc. Yeah. Too many design flaws. Never trust etc. Is common sense an overpowered skill nowadays? That's an old question. Whitney Eaton gave $5. Thank you very much. What's a good source for Apple parts? That's not a specific question, so unfortunately I cannot answer it. Do you need Retina screens? Do you need pre-Retina screens? Do you want chipsets to the boards? Do you want BGA chipsets or normal chipsets? Do you want flex cables? Do you want... I have at least 13 different vendors at the store alone for all the things I use, so that's a difficult one. But if you want an absolutely generic answer, go to ProTech Restore. ProTech Restore makes good stuff, and they're good people. Hopefully that doesn't change after I make this recommendation. ProTech Restore. ProTech Restore. How do you deal with burnout? I think I answered that one twice at this point, so unfortunately I can't answer that one again. What do you think about the Librem 5? I think it's great, but it doesn't seem to have come out yet. I'm pretty sure also that does not qualify me to have an opinion about it, which means that I don't think it's great. I think the concept of the Librem 5 is great. What the implementation will be, well, who the fuck knows? I have an idea that if I had to guess, I would say that it's probably not going to have a lot of support. You're probably going to have to give up a lot to use it. It's probably going to be really expensive, so very few people will buy it. And we're going to figure out that in spite of everybody clamoring about how important privacy is all the time, we're going to find out just how important it actually is when people are forced to sacrifice something in order to have privacy, which is not very much. Sad. Maybe I'm overly pessimistic, overly negative, but unfortunately I tend to be right a lot of the time when it comes to these pessimistic things. Advice for someone asking for a raise? I think I answered that one already. But yeah, I have a feeling when the Librem 5 comes out, they're going to say, here's all the things that we can do, except it's going to cost a little bit more, and it's going to have a couple of less features and less app support. And we're going to figure out that for all the people that talked about how much they cared about privacy, when they're actually forced to make a choice between privacy or convenience, they're all going to choose convenience. And it's going to make everybody sad, including me. Can I show up sober and attempt to fix a MacBook? Maybe. 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 You plan to upgrade to Zen 2 this July. I am not smart enough to know what Zen 2 is. Louis, why do you have to shut down California like that? I've been to California. I don't want anything to do with California. I really don't. The homeless people there are totally different than the homeless people here. Homeless people here, they ask for money, they curse, they yell, that's it. I give them food or whatever sometimes, or I don't, that's it. I go to San Diego, it's fucking Christmas Eve, I have my truffled gnocchi, there's a homeless person, they ask for something, they look kind of skinny, I give them my food, he goes, there's no meat in this, he fucking throws it at me. This is a $27, it was like $20 or $27 dish that I got. Quality truffled gnocchi, throws it at me. Cunt. And that was my experience the entire 2 weeks that I was in San Diego. Fuck California. Oh, granted, I'm basing this on just one part of California, but it also seems like it's really expensive to live in California. And if I'm going to deal with that kind of shit, I don't want to be paying a lot of money. I can see if your state is cheap and you have to deal with a very large homeless population that throws shit at you. I could see if your state is expensive and you don't have to deal with that. But I don't really want to pay a lot of money to live like that. Like, screw that. It's like New York. It's just like another flavor of New York. Are you overcrowded? Yes. Are the taxes ridiculously high? Yes. Is it hard to start a business? Yes. Do you have a ridiculous homeless population? Yes. Is there ridiculous income inequality and all the crap that comes with it? Yes. Are you filled with lots of young, high-tech CEOs and self-styled masters of the universe and celebrities that want to tell you how to run your life? Yes. I don't want to deal with another version of New York. I've lived in New York for 30 years. I've had enough. Once it's time to leave, I'm not going to move to an even more expensive version of New York. Fuck that. Very beautiful place, by the way. Genuinely beautiful place, especially Guatai Mountain. I loved Guatai Mountain. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I think it's Guatay. What is a good source for Apple parts? I think I answered that. What is a good Bluetooth headset? If you must, buy a third-party Bluetooth cable and attach some Shure earbuds to it, like the SE425 or SE225. Where can I buy your book? I do not have a book. Thank you to Andrew Shepard. What else do I have? Recently gotten a micro soldering. You've been a great mentor. Thanks for all you do. Much love from Oahu. Tech Reflow. I hope you're not reflowing shit, by the way. If you're reflowing GPUs, I will fly right back to Oahu and toss you straight into the ocean. But I hope you're not. You better be reflowing SMCs and only when they have liquid damage under them. But no, seriously, that's awesome. Teresa's the best mom, needs an Christmas bonus. And I hope you've been doing well in micro soldering. My girlfriend has brought up several times that if you have a liquid damage MacBook in Hawaii, there's nobody to take it to, and you'd better be the person that they take it to. Is this pre-recorded? Yes, this is pre-recorded. IQ reaching room temperature. Just wanted to support your channel. Keep up the good work. You should make another video at Linus Tech Tips again. Maybe. I'm going to be visiting LTX next month. Let's see. Okay, we have some dumb comments that managed to make it through moderation here. Google added back the headphone. Check that as an old one. What is your favorite burger place? Westville Market, right around the corner. It's on 11th Street and Avenue A. What is Befang gear, dude? Huh? Google, man. Google. Where are all these questions coming from? Magic. Magic. Who's the person you trust most? Blackberry the kitten. What are your thoughts on late 80s and early 90s Sensui amplifiers? I've never used the Sensui. I've never seen a Sensui. STS Tech gave $1.95. Thank you. Ashan said, I like you. George Zimmerman, villain or victim? Ha. What you need to do in order for me to determine that is you need to get a camera and go back in time and then be there and watch everything as it unfolds. If you can do that, I'll give you an answer. Until you get a time machine, you get some camera footage, I'll tell you. What is the best sandwich you've ever had? A burrito from Lucha Lucha. Tempeh burrito, no dairy, with carrot habanero hot sauce and some jalapenos. Everybody type F in the chat to pay respects for the burrito place that likely went out of business because they were paying below minimum wage off the books. I miss them so much. I miss Lucha Lucha. They were so good. They were so good. The food was amazing. Oh, man. Appreciate the videos. They should have paid people more. You bash Apple, but if it wasn't for Apple, you wouldn't have had a successful business. Isn't it true? Incorrect. That's like saying, well, if cancer was cured, oncologists would not have a career. Yes, they would. They would do other things. Maybe they would deliver children. Maybe they would become a chiropractor. Maybe they would deal with neurology. Are you that fucking stupid? Maybe you're that stupid that you believe that you can only do one thing, and if that one thing goes away, then you will not make money for the rest of your life. But I'm not like you. I'm not like you. I have the ability to do more than one thing. TCRS says California is terrible, and Tim owns a business and a store in California. Street Guru says, I live in California, it sucks. I don't need you to tell me that it sucks. I've went to California. I don't need you to tell me that it sucks. You seem capable of running any repair business. Why Apple when there's so much pushback? I'm good at it. I'm really good at it, and I'm solving a problem that needs to be solved. It's good to feel like you have purpose, and here I have a clear-cut purpose. There's a lot of pushback from Apple itself, but when it comes to the customers are very, very appreciative. Here, let me show you. Let me show you why I do what I do. Let's see if I can find this. If you had the chance to save Tim Cook or Trump from drowning in a lake, what sandwich would you make? I'd make a burrito. Oh, man. Let's see. Would you live on an offshore oil platform to repair Apple products without having your stuff seized by customs? I don't think I'd get any customers if that was the case. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would get no customers. Okay, so let me show you why I do what I do. So, stuff like this. So this type of review here, let's see. Let's see if this shows up. Okay, move this a little. 1 second. Display capture. So reviews like this are why I do what I do. It's the ability to help a customer that nobody else would have helped, that you know if they went to 5 or 10 other places would have been told GTFO my store, but you were able to do something for them or help them in a way that somebody else wasn't. Stuff like this. This is what makes it worthwhile after 10 years. This is what makes it worthwhile when you're working until 4 in the morning. This is what makes it worthwhile when you kind of think that the landlords of your building are probably trying to burn down your building for the insurance money. Do you use supplements? Yes, I do. I've been taking a multivitamin for God knows how long. I always took iron ever since I was a child. I was iron anemic, regardless of the diet. Regardless of diet, no matter what I fucking eat. I eat a lot of meat. I'm a vegan. Whatever the hell it is, I've always had iron deficiency, and for like 5 years, I've taken B12 and DHA, EPA, omega-3 supplement. How the fuck am I supposed to read that? No, really. Now, proof Lewis doesn't eat Apple. He fixed my video gear. Took it to EDC and it worked perfectly. Did I fix video gear? I don't know. It's possible to make a 2011 MacBook Pro 13.3-inch run cool. I would send it to you if you can make it run cooler and if you have replacement trackpads. Mine is bent into shape. Yes, we can do a replacement trackpad, but you may not want to pay for it because it's 7 years old. You can also do that yourself. And you can make it run a little bit cooler by using compressed air in the vents. That you can do yourself. If you want us to replace the thermal paste, yes, I'm going to charge you out the ass for that because you have to take out the entire board to replace the thermal paste on that model, unlike the newer ones. So the newer ones, you don't have to do that. You can just open the bottom of the case. Actually, not the newer ones. The 2013 through 15 Retinas, not above that because then you have to take the board out again. What point would you be content about the way your business life is? Are you happy now? Happy, yes. Content, no. Big difference. Asking this depressed 20-year-old SQL engineer, I'm very sorry that you're depressed. So here's the thing. Content? Never. No matter what I accomplish, I'm always going to want to solve a new problem. I'm going to look at the world, think it could be better in some way. I can do it. Content? Never. Happy? Absolutely. As long as I think that I'm on a path, that I'm helping more people, that I'm doing something productive, that I'm doing more shit that needs to be done, I'm happy. But happy and content are different things. What would be the startup cost of your repair shop of your caliber, including the tools and people? Again, if you want to just start off the way I did, $268. If you want to be where I am now, probably at least $50,000 to $100,000. But yeah, stuff like this makes it worth it when you think that the company that owns your building is probably trying to burn it down for the insurance money. This makes it worth it when custom steals your batteries. This makes it worth it when you have to deal with all the crap that other people don't have to deal with. This makes it worth it when your bank account is minus $17,000 because of a long stream of bad luck, and the bank does not want to help you. This, I already answered that one question, but thank you very much, Chanel. This makes it worth it. Stuff like this. Kind people like this person who show appreciation, who I don't ask any money for in return because the appreciation is enough. That's the shit that makes it worth it. And that's the reason that I likely will never be burned out of this industry. Once the customers stop appreciating it, then probably I will be. But it's not about the pushback from the company. It's not about the pushback from Apple. It's not about the pushback from customs. It's not about the economic pushback. It's about the customer appreciation. As long as the customers appreciate what I do, I'm fine. I'd like to submit my application for modding. For modding? Oh, yeah, moderation. We'll think about it. Please read this. I can't read that, Raphael. Thank you for the plun 25, but I don't know. That's a lot of delay in Streamlabs. Indeed, there is. Would you teach someone to microsolder if they paid? No. I used to do that. I think I answered the question. I used to teach a class. Well, not a class. I taught a class with Jessa Jones. Then I started doing private one-on-one tutoring. I would tell people, read this, answer the questions before you show up. Half of the people that showed up wouldn't even fucking read the sheet that I made. The sheet that, why do you live in shithole New York? You get so many mail and you can live in a cabin in the woods. Is there something too amazing in New York? The burrito place is closed. No. Well, it's about business. You know, it used to be 10% of the business was mail, and then 20%, and 30%, and 40%, and 45%. When that number gets high enough, I would consider leaving, but there needs to be enough. And also, do I want to actually do all of it? So if I leave here, this place needs to be managed well enough that I know that every fucking fresh desk ticket is being read. I need to know that when people are letting things leave, that they're checking for liquid damage in the trackpad cable. I need to know that there's not internal drama, people arguing and bickering with one another and all that type of stuff. And all that has to be well before I leave, which, let's face it, it is a business, and businesses are run by people and contain people, which means it probably never will. There's also the question of, if I leave, is there enough business to support me by myself if I actually wanted to do all those repairs? And a lot of it is walk-in, and enough of it is walk-in that it is not worth it yet for me to leave. Someday it will be. And you're right, New York is indeed a shithole, but it is a shithole that I can ride my Bafang to work at 19.999 miles per hour is at, so it is worth it for the time being. I was in the middle of answering like 2 questions. All right, would you teach microsoldering? Okay, this one I answered, the Dow Griffith question. I know I answered that one because I think that morals do make you money, long game. But anyway, would you teach someone to microsolder? Fuck no. The amount of people that would show up that did not read a presentation that I had with pictures and size 36 font on it, it completely demoralized me to the concept of teaching in person. I will put up videos where I do the work once, and that thing that I did once then teaches people thousands times over. That I'll do. I do one video, I can teach 100,000 times off of that one try. I'm not going to sit with somebody and teach with them and teach them and actually put my time in where it's only going to be working one person when that one person, over 50% of the time, does not even read the preliminary sheet that I send them before they're supposed to come to class. Screw that. I'm thinking of switching from Linux to Windows 10. What distro would you recommend? I don't know. I haven't used Linux in years. Ubuntu? Debian? I recommended Gentoo at one point in time when Portage was actually a decent working system. But that's been a long time. You're going to get a lot of errors if you try to install Gentoo now. Unless you do it a very specific certain way, in a very specific certain order. And man, do you like furries? I'm not a furry. Send you a proposal about an iMac. Do you do it? I don't do iMacs. We fix them. Will you train someone on microsolder if they pay it? I think I already answered that. How large is your package? My package is 0805, baby. Twitch enjoys your free multicast. And I haven't been reading Twitch chat. Fuck. I know. Sorry. What's the nicest thing anybody has ever done for you? Honestly, the nicest thing I can remember in the longest time is somebody writing this review. This is the nicest thing that I've had done for me in recent memory. Just reading that review was the nicest thing anybody's done for me in recent memory. Showcat also thoughts on finance degree. Worth it. Okay, I don't know what the fuck Showcat is. Thoughts on finance degree. Worth it? I don't know. I don't know enough about finance to really tell you if a degree is worth it or what you can do with it. That is something you should ask people who already work in the field. So figure out what job it is you'd want to get, ask them if the finance degree is the way to go, and listen to them. What do you order at Taco Bell? I don't eat at Taco Bell. Taco Bell is a cesspool. Richard Mayer funded $20. Thank you very much to Richard Meyer. Meyer? Sorry, how do I pronounce your name? Let's see. I'm going to refill my water because I'm kind of thirsty now. There's probably going to be a bunch of questions that show up. Would you consider training someone from the scratch to do what you do? No, I tried that already. Fuck that. I can't. I really did. I really put effort into one-on-one training, and what I learned is that there was a small number of people that benefited and a very large number of people that would not even read the preliminary document that I sent them when most of it was pictures. And it just, it destroyed my soul. Can you use a temp sensor on multimeter to detect heat in the circuit of a laptop? Yes. Okay. Do you reuse iFixit toolkit, and if so, which one? I do not use iFixit toolkits because a lot of those screwdrivers strip easily. Kyle's going to fucking kill me for saying that, but he knows it's true. Sorry. Will you buy a Disney Vacation Club package? No. I did like going to Disney World as a kid, but meh. It's expensive. Would you move to Orlando? I don't know. I haven't really been to Orlando outside of Disney World. I would read it. I also already have a successful repair shop. I need hands-on training on microsolder to take it to the next level, but can't find help. This channel, man! This channel! Okay. I am going to refill my water, which means I'm probably going to miss a bunch of donations. Sorry if you donated while I'm in the bathroom refilling my water bottle, but I'm thirsty. And, yeah. Gotta drink water. Hi, Lewis. Will Apple ever make good hardware? Ha ha! Don't slay me. They are in the description, someone said. Answered that one already. I have a repair shop, but need to learn a microsolder. Learn. No question, just donating, Lewis, trying to learn. Thank you, Alex. Okay, let's see if there's any Streamlabs ones that I have not read. I'm thinking of switch... Oh, go to dashboard. I hate when websites pop up windows after I click. Mofo. Do you have other businesses? Okay, firstly, my apologies to Lieutenant Joe for missing that question. This one that Greg asked, I think I already answered. I don't have side businesses. I just try to make money as much as I can from this business. So I have many different streams of income for this business, outside of just walk in and mail and repair. There's lots of streams of income for this business, but no side businesses at the moment. Maybe at a future date. Content was the best operating. The high school to college pipeline must be stopped. I need trade students. Can't get enough tool and die makers to save my life. Counselors need to quit pushing students into college they know will drop out. Most don't even know vocational school is an option. The high school to college, I like the way you phrase it as high school to college pipeline, Shameless James. And I agree with you. Not everybody needs to have a fucking college degree. There are some people that may actually want to work with their hands. There's nothing wrong with being a plumber. There's nothing wrong with working in construction. There's nothing wrong with being a welder. These are fine jobs, and there's nothing wrong with them. But nobody wants to do them anymore. And if you take a look at a lot of the areas where there's lots of people that know how to code and not a lot of places people live, well, you learn at some point that code does not build housing. I was born in California. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Try it before California tries to destroy it. I tried California. What is a good source for Apple parts? I think I said Protect Restore. What is your IQ? Probably room temperature. I'm sure you realize you can run OS X faster in a virtual machine than on Apple hardware now. Thoughts and business opportunities based on that? I don't know. I don't realize that, and I didn't actually know, so I'm not sure. Do you think Disney is killing Epcot? I don't know shit about Disney. I just know that Magic Kingdom is better than Epcot, so I don't really care if they kill Epcot because Magic Kingdom for the win. I can build a phone from scratch, but know nothing about soldering. I make good money, but I'm bored with basic repairs. then start learning about soldering and start doing other phones. You eat gingerly. I don't know what gingerly is. How would you go about becoming a better people manager? I think that you need to understand things from the point of view of the individual that you're dealing with. It doesn't mean you always have to listen. I don't think that means you always have to actually do what it is you think they would want done, but you should at the very least understand where they're coming from. What is your opinion on Henrik Husby's loss against Apple? He had to destroy 62 screens and pay Apple $11,500. Did he lose? June 8th, this is old, this is old. June 6th, this is old. 2018, this is old. June 6th, this is old. Old. Like, from Orlando is not a shithole, been living there for 7 years. I didn't say I was a shithole. I just said I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. I did a follow-up to that, and I think that people should watch that video. I know probably nobody is going to. But I was wrong. I did not have all the information when I originally did my video. And I was wrong in the things that I said. So you can find it here. It's called I Was Wrong About Something Important. Thank you, Andrew Shepard. I was wrong about something important. Now, that case was not what was fucking was not exactly the way that... How do I put this? I was expecting a different fucking case than the case that I walked into. So... when I looked at the details of the case, from everything that I read, it seemed like it was somebody just getting their screens refurbished in China. They were sending him his screens to China, they'd refurbish it, he'd re-import it. That is not what the fucking case was. It's not. And it pisses me off that I didn't know about this until the last fucking minute. That was not what the case was. There was a sheet where he was selling the screens to a company in China, and then 6 months later, he buys screens that are labeled OEM from a different company in China. So we're not talking about me sending my screens to China to be refurbished, and that's why they have the logo on them. I don't even know why the fuck he even included in the case that there was an invoice. Not an invoice. Why did he even include in the case a sheet that's showcasing screens that he was selling back to China? What does that have to do with the case of you importing screens from China? It has nothing to do with it at all. It was just probably thrown in there for God knows why. And that kind of pissed me off. I'm reading this thinking, okay, this is going to be an easy open and shut case. And it's, wait. Okay, so you're selling screens to China, to company A, and then 6 months later from a totally different company, you buy screens from company B, and this is what Apple has a problem with. So why the fuck are you even including the refurbished ones? And on the invoice, it said OEM. OEM LCD. And on the box, it said OEM LCD. And... the Apple logos that were printed there, according to Apple, at least from the pictures they provided, were different and poorly printed compared to the original, which would not be the case if these were just refurbs of the original. And they also had QR codes of serial numbers that were fake, that were like the same number over and over and over. It's not even like it's a fake serial. It's the same number over and over and over again. And I did not get good answers to these questions. I got answers that were fairly unsatisfactory. And the Apple attorney must have knew that my testimony didn't even matter because he didn't even ask me any of these questions. And this is something that I went over in this video here because I originally believed that this was a case of dealing with refurbished screens, meaning like, because this is something that I do. I give my screens to Sonny. Sonny will then refurbish them because he has the machinery. He gives them back to me. Of course it has a fucking Apple logo on the LCD because it's the Apple fucking screen. I took it out of a phone that had a crack on the glass. I gave it to Sonny, and then Sonny gave it back to me working. That's refurbishing. Me selling screens to company A, and then 6 months later buying screens labeled OEM from company B, that's not refurbishing. Ah! Why you no answer me? Did you burn the door? Did I burn the door? Huh? I didn't burn the door. I didn't answer you because I didn't see your question. You're one of many thousands of people. But see, what's the best sandwich you ever had? A Lucha Lucha burrito. But, Lucha Lucha burrito. Thank you, Graham Daff. But, I mean, honestly, like, it's not the case that was represented to me. And you know, eventually at the end of it, they said, well, you know, that's not the issue. We crossed out the logo. Since we crossed out the logo, we were not representing them as Apple, so all of that's not the issue. And that's fine. Tell me that before I testify in your fucking case. Hi, Lewis from Australia. A long-time viewer. I like your ethics and moral compass. You also fault find like I was taught in the Royal Australian Air Force back in the 70s. Thank you very much, James Bartlett. Now, there's another case that I'm actually much more interested in that I can't really talk about much, where certain people are claiming that something is not original when I can literally dissect this with a microscope for an hour and tell you that it fucking is original. That's a case that I'm actually interested in, because the individuals involved are not misrepresenting what they're doing to me when they're asking for my help and advice. But STS Tech funded $1.40. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not happy to see anybody lose against Apple. It's just that was not the case that I would have got behind. Why can't I find all the comments he's answering? You're not looking hard enough, clearly. Coding isn't hard. It is for me because I'm dumb. How do you go about disciplining your staff as a manager? I think that if you need to discipline people, that they're children. Adults don't need to be disciplined. Adults need to be to understand your point of view, and then to understand what they have to do. And if they, like, I'm not here to discipline you. You know, I'm not your madame. I'm not into BDSM, and I'm not your dad. I'm your employer. I'm not here to discipline you. If you need discipline, then, you know, go to a fucking preschool or elementary school. I don't want to deal with staff that require discipline, to be honest with you. You still going with that chick? I don't know who that chick is. What's that chick? What's a good alternative to PayPal? Chase Payment Tech. The interface sucks. It's going to feel like you're dealing with a company from the 80s, but the fees are so far below everything else that it's worth it, in my opinion. Good morning, I'm your fan from Brazil. Would like to know what you think of the Dell and Lenovo something. Shit, and the chat just disappeared. Dell and Lenovo equipments are easier to repair as Apple ones. I think that they're easier just by virtue of the fact that you can actually get service manuals for them. But maybe not in terms of it may be harder to get certain parts that are, because they're not so popular that people are willing to get parts off the back of a truck for them. And how's it going? There's a person with a hat staring at me. He's probably not going to stop staring at me. Vimeo is turning into YouTube censoring videos. You mean censoring, but I have not seen them do that yet because I don't spend much time on there. Your social blade is taking off. Come a long way. Thank you. Will you get a skunk as a pet? Fuck no. Are you kidding me? I already have Oreo. What's the color of your toothbrush? Who the hell knows? Do you short sell Apple? No. Twitch and... let's see. Pink Cinna says new grill. Are you a mod, Pink Cinna? Okay, let me try to add you. Here we go. Pink Cinna, you are now a mod. Enjoy. What's your overall opinion on Apple, like as a whole company as well as their past? What is my opinion on... You have to be more specific. It's like saying, what is my opinion on Earth? What is my opinion on the United States? The United States' foreign policy. The United States' old foreign policy versus new. The United States' economy. The United States laws in the specific area. The United States for education. The United States for business opportunity. What do you mean? I'm not answering that one. New microscope model thoughts. Once I get the new microscopes that I intend to sell, we'll talk about it. I think I was talking to myself, or had the mic muted for the Henrik Husby case comments. If you get cheated by the Better Business Bureau, who do you complain to? Does anybody even care about the Better Business Bureau? Would you train someone to microsolder if they paid? No. No amount of money would ever make that worth it. I did it. I tried. It failed. Ask you anything. Do you splurge on name brand cereal or do you get generic? You know what? There was a time where I used to love Cinnamon Toast Crunch, And there's no generic that's going to taste as good as Cinnamon Toast Crunch with some quality almond milk. But I haven't eaten that in a long time because that's trash. I know it's trash as I'm eating it, but it's so good I just didn't care. But I'm done with that. Would you ever repair ThinkPads? Only when mine breaks. Check your phone, Lewis. There's a Streamlabs skip button in the recent events page. Where is the recent events page? Ah, well. Oh, no, that's later. Would you support an Apple authorized component level board repair if there was one? Yes and no. Yes and no. I like the fact that there's a low barrier to entry because it allowed somebody like me to enter a business that I otherwise would never have been able to enter. You have to understand that the low barrier to entry is the reason that I'm here and was able to teach as many people as I was and was able to figure it out and was able to start a business, employ people, and everything else. Without the low barrier to entry, I wouldn't exist. So I will always want a low barrier to entry to exist. At the same time, if they wanted to offer a certification, I'd take it. But let's face it, that's never going to fucking happen. That's never going to happen. You're never going to see an Apple certified component level board repair technician. It's just not going to happen. Would you buy a Disney Vacation Club package? No. Although I do want to go to Disney World again. Do you think the government should regulate vaping more than tobacco? I am not informed on vaping or tobacco, so for me to try to answer that question would result in me looking like an uninformed idiot. See any good movies or TV shows lately? Nope. And I finished Game of Thrones. Definitely not good. What a shit ending that was. Do you believe the U.S. is lying about Iran attacking us in an effort to goad us into another war, pulling another weapons of mass destruction situation? And why would somebody delete that comment? Seriously? Do I have a mod that would delete that? That was a good fucking question. I have no idea. I don't know. It's certainly something that I'm thinking about. But you never know. You never know. Would you teach someone why does that question keep showing up? I said, no, I will not. You could donate $1 a second from now until I'm dead. I'm not doing that again. I quit teaching. Screw that. What languages do you speak? I'm not planning to learn any languages. I have no plans of learning languages. English is enough for me. No question, just donating, trying to learn. Thank you. It showed my question 25 minutes after I answered it. Yep, go Streamlabs. Have you ever damaged anything using an ultrasonic cleaner? Yes, and then you have to fix the board. That's fun. However, the thing is, if the board was damaged enough that when you put it in the ultrasonic it died, that means that your board was not fit to be given back to the customer anyway. So it's better off that you wound up realizing the board was dead before it got back to the customer. How much do you make per year? None of your business. What keeps you doing what you do? I think I actually answered that one a while ago. You know what? There has to be a way to mute that. Because I know that dude has not donated as many times as that's shown up on the screen. Game of Thrones ending was trash. D&D as bad as old Apple. Yeah. Why would we need to fake them all as being jerks literally kid on their sailors a couple of years ago? Yeah, again, I don't know. I'm not a member of military intelligence. No idea. Let's see. Do you make more from YouTube or from repairs? Are you kidding me? Repairs. Look at the effort I put into having a nice backdrop. This is the backdrop I have for YouTube videos. Look at that. Look at this evenly painted surface over here with skid marks everywhere. Look at that terrible white balance and awful lighting. Kidding? There's a reason I put shit effort into YouTube. Repair makes money. YouTube doesn't. That's why I put all my effort into repair and YouTube as an afterthought. Let's see. Ooh, somebody mentioned the Husby case. Are you Jewish? I am not. Don't be dumb. Do you know that Henrik Husby lost? I did not know that, and I have no until about 5 minutes ago, but I gave my commentary on that about 5 minutes ago. And again, if I had the understanding of the case that I did prior to getting all the documentation that I received, I would have thought that sucked. After I got all the documentation on the case, that's when I realized, you know what? I don't really care as much as I did before. And I explained that about, I would say, 10 minutes ago. Around 10 minutes ago is when I talked about that. I also talked about that in this video over here. which you can take a look at over here. I was wrong about something important, and in this video, I went over what I was wrong about, and as is usual, makes me very sad, the video where I originally described the case got 4 million views. The follow-up video where I said that I was wrong about something got 39,000 views. That is because the world is not fair, and that is something that I am going to have to live with. And it's going to be hard to live with. But I may do a follow-up on it. I was really not happy with the idea, with viewing that, with the reason I was not happy when I viewed that is the way it was presented was not, the way it was presented to the court is very differently from the way that it was presented to everybody else. And that pissed me off. And there were certain pieces of evidence in that case that just, it's not even evidence for the case. I don't even know why you would include this unless you were trying to mislead some old judge that doesn't know any better. And it pissed me off. But I put that in this video over here. Would you import me? I have no no talent. No. What are some weird interview questions you ask? I ask people to staple paper to see how they staple it. I don't do interview questions. I just put people in the job situation and try to see how they deal with it. Sorry for the spam. It's my first time. Thank you for the $1.99. But still, I'm not teaching. So when your store lease is up, will you leave New York and save a shit ton on rent? When my store lease is up, I am fucking out of here. Come 2023, I'm done. Yeah. The Who's-Be case. What's your worst customer service experience? I don't remember. Is this pre-recorded? Please have an IQ above room temperature. Let's see. You know, I said I was going to end this once I was going to be done with this once the questions ended, but it doesn't seem like the questions are going to end. You know, we're 2 hours and 16 minutes into this. And you've heard library? Yes, I have. Are you angry at Windows' shitty Bluetooth audio implementation? Not angry, just disappointed. It drops too often. It takes way too long to scan for shit. My phone will find a headset like 3 seconds. My computer, 30, 50 seconds in, it's still searching. It's awful. And that's several different computers with different Bluetooth chipsets. Will you share the micro-soldering docs with us? Yes, I will. They're actually in the description down below. They're all in the description down below. They never end. They really don't. They don't, Rick. What's your opinion of Hackintosh? If you want to use it, use it. What would you recommend for someone unemployed staying at his mother's house watching YouTube videos? I would recommend is that you find problems to solve. Eli, the computer guy, recommends the same thing, and it's a good thing to recommend. You should have done this at 6 p.m. Yeah, but there were customers in the store at 6 p.m., so I couldn't. If you left your current place, where would you go? I don't know. When are you going home? Soon. How does it feel to walk into a store and know you can afford almost anything in it? I don't have that feeling. Because I need more money to have that feeling. I think we're to the end. Oh shit, we're not. Wait, those are all the questions. Yes, so we are indeed close to the end. Yes. Oh, this is beautiful. The end. Time to go. I fixed all the easy MacBook Air no powers. I left a couple of PM sleep S4Ls for Paul, so I can get out of here now. All right. That's it for tonight, and as always, I hope you learned something. Tell me if you want to see these more often. Do you want to see an Ask Me Anything stream, let's say, once a week? Do you once a month, once a year? Or do you just hate these and not want to see them at all? I'm kind of curious. Maybe we'll have one once a week. I'm thinking of doing these once a week. But you all let me know what you'd like to see. So that's it for today, and I will see you all in the next one. Time for me to get out of here so that I can go to sleep.